Afternoon to you, football fans. It's time for Trailblazer football here from Dixie State University as the Trailblazers host the Yellow Jackets of Black Hills State, coming to us from Spearfish, South Dakota. After 3 long weeks on the road and becoming those road warriors that we've talked about over those last 3 weeks, the Trailblazers are 3-1 overall and 3-1 in RMAC play as they get set to host the Yellow Jackets of Black Hills State University, coming in at 1-3 overall, 1-3 in the RMAC. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Carrick Segmiller, bringing in my broadcast partner, Drayson Ball. And Drayson, we've been waiting to get back inside Trailblazer Stadium for those 3 long weeks, and finally, here we are. First thing that we can talk about inside our TDS pregame show is just how impressed we were with Dixie State going out on the road, getting 3 wins in a row on the road. We've said during Trailblazer Weekly, we've said during these broadcasts, doesn't matter who you're playing, you play 3 games in a row on the road and you win them all, you're doing something right. We'll see how that translates over to playing at home this week.
Yeah, the Trailblazers did a good job going 3-0 on the road after that tough opening loss to Colorado State Pueblo to begin the season. I thought they rebounded very, very well and didn't let that first game affect them. I think they kind of figured out who they were on that road trip. We saw, obviously, the defense play very, very well. The offense started to come along slowly but surely, led by Keaton Mott. Just like I said, it's good to be back home and to finally get your kind of your home schedule, the meat of your home schedule, really going, as we have 5 of the next 7 here inside Trailblazer Stadium. So it'll be fun to see how they transition from playing on the road, which is obviously different atmosphere, different environment, different preparation, from playing at home here, where you have you get to sleep in your home bed, you don't have to travel, you're not on a bus or a plane for long stretches at a time. So it'll be fun to see how they translate here inside Trailblazer Stadium.
A balmy, about 70, just over 70 degrees right here in St. George, Utah. Will be a high in the low 80s as we go on throughout the day today. Drayson, you mentioned earlier before we started the broadcast that you're not sure that you've seen a better day to play football. This is football weather, at least here in St. George, Utah. Some consider what we had in Rapid City last week, cold, windy, rainy. They're like, hey, it's fall, it's almost winter, that's football weather. You know what? We're from St. George, Utah. We consider mid-70s, low 80s to be football weather, and it's warm outside, very light breeze, if any. Great crowd filing in to see this Dixie State game between Black Hills State. Should be a great crowd because your Trailblazers are 3-1 overall and 3-1 in the RMAC Conference. Let's take a look at the series history between Dixie State and Black Hills State. A series just 3 games old. This is game number 4 between these two teams. And Drayson, a theme between these two teams as Dixie State leads 2-1. A theme has been one team takes a 2-score lead or more, and the other team comes roaring back to take the lead back, and then it's a battle until the end. 2 of the 3 matchups have been just a 1-score win in the series. The only one was Dixie State in 2017, winning 38-16, but not before going down 10-0 early in that game and then scoring 38 unanswered points. It's a series that has been close. It's been competitive, almost as we say every week in the RMAC.
Yeah, and if the Trailblazers want to be able to try to continue their winning streak, their 3-game winning streak, let's hope they can not let that happen in that sense, to where they either get down and have to come back like we've seen them have to do on the road at times, namely Fort Lewis, and then last week against South Dakota Mines. Obviously, they were down in that game, just 4 points, 10-6 at halftime, but did have to come back and win that game. Let's hope they can get out early and not have to put themselves in a position where they have to come back and win this game. If they can get out ahead, and then the other part of it is not let them get back into the game. If you get out to an early lead, you got to keep yourself composed and keep yourself foot on the pedal to continue to build that lead and not let them kind of creep back, as we've seen they've been able to do in past games.
We had senior defensive back Aaron Simpson on the Trailblazer Weekly show earlier in the week, and that's basically, you just reiterated everything that he said during his interview, because we asked him, how have you guys been able to come back and roar back in these second halves? And he said, well, first of all, we shouldn't have to come back in the second half. And it was just very refreshing. It was nice to hear a player say that. They know they're being coached up. They know, hey, we've got to start faster. We've got to be better and not have to just come back in these second halves. Let's look at the tail of the tape, the head-to-head matchup between Dixie State and Black Hills State, and we'll break these stats down as they pertain to each team a little bit deeper as we go through here. But let's just take a look at this tail of the tape. We're taking a look at 6 different statistical categories, Drayson: scoring, total offense, rush yards, pass yards per game, third down efficiency, and turnover margins. As we look at this, Dixie State leads on paper in all 5 of these categories, so that should bode well, at least on paper, for Dixie State today against Black Hills State.
Yeah, the Trailblazers leading in total offense, 381 yards compared to 308 for the Yellow Jackets. Obviously, rush yards and pass yards more on Dixie State's side. And third down efficiency, not great at 38%. You'd like to have that a little bit higher, but compared to the Yellow Jackets at just 31%. If your defense can limit that as well today, that'll be a good sign. And then, of course, the big thing that stands out to me is turnover margin. Trailblazers currently +1 in the turnover battle throughout the entire season. 9 takeaways, 8 turnovers compared to Black Hills State. This is where they've really struggled and why they've gotten out to a 1-3 start on the season. A -5 turnover margin. 4 takeaways, 9 turnovers. A lot of those are interceptions, and that's going to be a key role if the Trailblazers are going to want to win this game today. Have to take advantage of the of the turnovers, and at the rate the Yellow Jackets turn it over, that has to be a big emphasis on today's game.
That is your tail of the tape, your head-to-head stats. Again, we'll break those down a little more in depth as we break down each game inside the TDS pregame show. Let's look at Black Hills State as a team now, Drayson. We call it Black Hills State at a glance. The Yellow Jackets 1-3 overall, coming in at a 1-3 in the RMAC as well. A team that was 0-3 last week and then just barely able to beat out Fort Lewis last week for a 13-7 defensive battle, defensive struggle win. This is a team that they've scored 31 points twice in this season. In fact, had a lead in one of those games. They were leading Chadron State in week 1, and then were not able to hold on to that lead as the Eagles came back to win that one 41-38. So this is a team that can score. They can put up numbers, but when you look at the game against Colorado School of Mines, a 52-7 loss. When you look at last week, only scoring 7 against Fort Lewis, you almost don't know what to expect when you play a team like Black Hills State. Are you going to get a team that put up 31 points against Chadron State? Are you going to get a team that only scored 13 points, albeit in a win, over Fort Lewis?
Yeah, and the interesting part about that Fort Lewis game is that Fort Lewis really dominated that game. They dominated time of possession, 40 minutes to 20 minutes for Black Hills State. In fact, Fort Lewis was inside Black Hills territory in the first half. Their first 4 possessions went into Black Hills territory. Those drives ended on an interception, a missed field goal, a turnover on downs, and then a 4-yard touchdown run. That's the first half. The second half, much of the same. They got into Black Hills territory on 3 of their 5 possessions in the second half. Those ended in a missed field goal, a turnover on downs, and another turnover on downs. So if you're looking at that game from Fort Lewis's standpoint, you're thinking you let one get away, only scoring 7 points. Black Hills State, obviously defensively, they are susceptible to the run. They obviously give up a lot of points, averaging about 38 defensive points allowed this season. So I think the Trailblazers have a few areas that they can really take advantage, just like Fort Lewis tried to do last week, but just weren't able to execute when it mattered.
Take a look at some Rock Canyon Bank statistics for Fort Lewis, and this is a team that, we mentioned during the Trailblazer Weekly show that teams are having almost just an exact split of success, whether it's on the ground or in the air. They're having success either way, although teams against Black Hills State to this point are averaging more rushing attempts, about 100-yard more rushing attempts than passing attempts, Trace. And so they're having equal success, but they're trying to run the ball against Black Hills State. You just mentioned it. We mentioned it on the show. It's a team that we feel like Dixie State with this offensive line, the way this run game has been trending upward, that the Trailblazers should be able to get a push up front and run against this Black Hills State defense that's giving up over 230 yards a game on the ground.
Yeah, Fort Lewis gained 190 yards in that matchup last week. 2 weeks ago, they played Adams State, gave up 296 rushing yards. And for the Trailblazers, for the last 2 games that have gone nearly 200 yards or more, over 200 yards of rushing, it should be a good combination for the Trailblazers to be able to get their running backs, Seiji Luongo, Andrew Kennelly-Robles, Darman Natoa. Those guys will have a good opportunity against a weak defensive line for Black Hills State that they should be able to get out and get some running, which hasn't really been a strength all season, except for the previous 2 weeks where, like I said, gone 200 yards or more.
Meanwhile, offensively for Black Hills State, it's been the pass game that's been a little bit more successful. 184 yards per game for the Yellow Jackets through the air versus 124.5 yards per game on the ground. Different quarterback. We just got word from Steve Ammerman, the radio guy for Black Hills State that's here in St. George, here to call this game for the Yellow Jackets. Starting quarterback will be Chance Eben. He's only played in one game, played in the Fort Lewis game last week, 5 of 8 through the air for 70 yards, and he did have a touchdown run on a scramble, the go-ahead, the game-winning touchdown, if you will. He's a quarterback that can run the ball, that can, I think, adds another element to this Black Hills State offense. We game planned all week as far as our broadcast goes, Drayson, for Andrew Tovar, the lefty, but you're going to see Chance Eben come in. He can run it, but he can or he can pass it, but he can scramble and run it as well. So that will be interesting. But for me, when you look at the key player to this Black Hills State offense, it is the receiver, the running back, whatever you want to call him, the ATH. Dixie State fans are going to get this reference. He is the Blake Barney of Black Hills State University. It's Kyler Harpham.
Yeah, Kyler Harpham is absolutely tremendous. We see here, he can run out of the backfield. He gets runs. He can go in motion. He can run the wildcat. He's very good at that. And then he can catch passes. He is a receiver. He can make guys miss when he gets into the open field. And you see here just a rumbling, bumbling, stumbling ride. Like you see here, this is the wildcat. He gets out in the open space. He is very quick. He's electric. If he gets the sideline, it is all over. He'll get into the end zone. You see here, run out of the backfield. He can do just about everything. He's a very good utility back for, I shouldn't say back, a utility guy for Black Hills State. We'll be calling his name a lot in today's matchup. He can do just about everything so far for Kyler Harpham. He's their leading receiver. 24 receptions, 342 yards, and 4 of the 5 passing touchdowns for Black Hills State, but he can also do it out of the backfield. 7 attempts, 80 yards, and we just saw the touchdown run there on that wildcat play. He's very, very good and very electric.
Should note that most of those 7 attempts and 80 yards were just last week against Fort Lewis. I think they're looking for something that works, and you're going to see a lot more of Kyler Harpham out of the wildcat, rushing the ball. One more thing we should add. He can throw a swing pass. He's not going to throw a lot of downfield passes from the Wildcat, but they will line him up in the Wildcat and then swing it to some of these other receivers or backs out of the backfield. So that's something to look for in this Black Hills State offense. Those are your key players for Black Hills State. That's Black Hills State at a glance. Let's take a look at Dixie State quickly before we have to break for the national anthem. Drayson, like we mentioned, 3-1 overall, 3-1 in the RMAC as we take a look at the Dixie State schedule and the success that they've had over the last few weeks and then what is to come as well. You lose to CSU Pueblo, tough loss there, but then you looked at the schedule and say, you know what, I think we're going to be okay. We're going to figure some things out. You go out, you Road Warriors, you win 3 in a row, and now here the Trailblazers are trying to get things going back at home and trying to get that first home win of the season. Drayson, when you look at that 3-game road stand, the 3 road wins, what is it you statistically that jumps out about this Dixie State football team that they had success with, and it was the difference in those 3 games versus the game here against CSU Pueblo?
Well, for me, it's the defense, and it all comes down to forcing turnovers. We obviously talked about Aaron Simpson. He leads the RMAC right now with 4 interceptions. He returned one of those for a touchdown 2 weeks ago against New Mexico Highlands. He almost returned one for a touchdown last week against South Dakota Mines. That, for me, is the big key. We've seen it all season long, the Trailblazers forcing turnovers and then turning those turnovers into points for their offense. If they can continue to do that, which they should have the advantage today, as Black Hills State, as we've seen, is susceptible to turning the ball over, they should have a good opportunity to get out and get this game started early with some offensive points. If they can get an early turnover, that will really spark the momentum for them early on.
Yeah, it definitely has been defense leading to offense for this Dixie State team. And like you said, this defense has been the spark plug for the Trailblazers, that they've been able to get in the backfield. They've been able to get sacks. They've been able to create interceptions. Aaron Simpson has gone crazy. He's got 4 interceptions just in the last 2 weeks alone. Dylan Hendrickson was your RMAC Defensive Player of the Week last week with 14 tackles with 4.5 sacks. A Dixie State single game record, by the way. But let's not forget Sir Barnes with 17 tackles in last week's game against South Dakota Mines. Just 2 tackles off of the single game tackle record for Sir Barnes, and he's just a freshman, and so he is climbing up the Dixie State. He's the Dixie State leading tackler right now. It has been the Dixie State defense leading to offense, and then the Trailblazers have struggled in the first half on offense, but that defense has given the Trailblazers a chance to go into halftime either still with a lead or not trailing by much, as the Trailblazers take the field this week wearing red jerseys, white pants, the red helmets. Look great. Love that uniform combo. But the Trailblazers have been able to go in, and that defense has kept them in the game so that Coach Peterson can make his offensive adjustments. They've been a lot better in the second half. Keaton Mott looked great last week. 21 pass completions for 300 yards and a couple of touchdowns. C.J. Luongo's been able to get going the last couple of weeks. But I've also liked what I've seen from Darman Natoa and Andrew Canelli-Robles as well on the ground. I think it's a team today you're going to see, like a couple of weeks ago at New Mexico Highlands, you're going to see a Dixie State offense that breaks out on the ground game today. That's what I'm expecting. I'll be surprised. I'll be shocked if we don't see that today.
I liked what you said about the running back core. I mean, last season and even a couple seasons ago, we did have C.J. Luongo, but a lot of people knew about him and were able to key on him. We didn't really have a second or a third running back that could take some of the pressure off C.J. Luongo. We have that this season. Darman Natoa, Andrew Canelli-Robles, obviously with C.J. there, have been able to kind of create a very diverse and a very deep running back core that have been able to, like you said, in the last 2 weeks, really find their kind of niche and be able to get out and get a lot of yards on the ground. Anytime you can do that, that opens up your passing game, and that was one of the big reasons why last week Keaton Mott looked as good as he did. The Trailblazers were gaining yards on the ground. He was able to settle in, find the pocket, find open receivers, and that translated to points for Dixie State's offense.
Trailblazers and Yellow Jackets getting set to do battle here inside Trailblazer Stadium. This is the TDS pregame show. The national anthem is just about to take place inside this football stadium. We're going to take a break here in just a moment, and our pregame show is shortened just a little bit, but we're going to get everything in. As soon as we get back from break, we'll give you some quality and keys to the game, and then right after that, some Cafe Sabor starting lineups. So Dixie State, Black Hills State getting set to do battle inside Trailblazer Stadium. And every game, Drayson, super important for the Trailblazers at this point. We mentioned after that CSU Pueblo loss that the schedule lined up as such that really the next 6 games after that loss to CSU Pueblo were all very winnable games for the Trailblazers, and they expect to be able to win these next few games and want to be up around even 6-1 as possible as they get set to take on the stretch of Chadron State, Colorado Mesa, and Colorado School of Mines. So every game super important as we get set to let's take a 2-minute timeout for our national anthem and then come right back with our quality and keys of the game and our Cafe Sabor starting lineups. 2-minute timeout and back.
Are we good? Yeah. There we are. Hi, I'm Eric Young.
And I'm Jennifer Kohler.
And this is, we're coming to you right before our show that we go live with Talking Point Live. And we just wanted to tell you to make sure you join us Wednesdays at 9:30, live coming to you from the studios of the CEC here on the campus of Dixie State University.
Yeah, and you can catch the rebroadcast at 9:30 when we're not live, and 12:30 and 4:30. Daily, weekly.
Daily? This is like way too much,
yeah.
I think. But just in case you got something better to do,
yeah,
there's all those times you can catch it as well. Also, you can catch us on our Facebook page at facebook.com/TalkingPointLive and on the CEC YouTube channel. All right, see you there.
We're basically very catchable.
Well, you are.
You can achieve a lot using your imagination. I mean, I don't like to brag, but... Wait, who's that? And why is she all over these achievement awards? But with STEM, the sky's the limit. Shaboom! Use STEM to envision... Okay, I'm seeing it. Yeah. Invent...
Got any ideas?
I've got a few, actually. And create a better world.
Told you she's super smart.
If she can STEM, so can you. Find out more at She Can STEM.
Where do you find the titans of classical music in St. George? Classical music on Radio St. George, 100.3 FM. Where do you find the legends of jazz? Evenings on Radio St. George, 100.3 FM.
Welcome back inside Trailblazers Stadium as Dixie State gets set to host Black Hills State in an RMAC battle between the Trailblazers at 3-1 overall and tied for second in the RMAC right now, and Black Hills State at 1-3 overall, getting their first RMAC win and first win overall victory of the season last week. It's time now for some quality and keys to the game. What does Dixie State need to do to try to win this football game, Drayson? It starts with containing Kyler Harfum. Contain Kyler is our first key of the game.
Yeah, we mentioned a little bit earlier, 24 receptions, 342 yards, 4 touchdowns receiving. He is very, very good offensively. He's a utility guy. If they're going to want to have a chance to win this game, you can't let him beat you. You got to focus on him and know where he's at all times in the formation.
Now, we were using alliteration with these keys in this graphic, and our keys were made before we knew that Andrew Tovar would not start. So our second key was going to be terrorize Tovar, but I think you can not, I can't think of another alliteration
Let's make it Chase
Chance. There you go.
Chase Chance.
You got to. The key basically is you've got to disrupt the quarterback and take advantage of that skewed turnover margin and help your team create turnovers against Black Hills State.
The Black Hills State, their turnovers have come, 6 of them have come via interception, 3 have come via fumble. So if you can really kind of put pressure on Chance Eben and chase Chance, if you will, and put some pressure on him, force him to some quick throws, you could get yourself an easy turnover.
Third key and final key, speedy start. Dixie State is outscoring opponents something to the tune of like 86-25 in the second half, and that's great, but they're being outscored by more than 20 in the first half. You've got to have a speedy start, do better in the first half. Those are your quality and keys to the game. Now let's take a quick look at our Cafe Sabor starting lineups. Dixie State will kick off to start this game, so we will start with the Dixie State defense. We'll look at the defensive line first quickly as we take a look. Who's starting across the front for the Trailblazers?
From left to right, Dylan Hendrickson, Tariq Wright, William Payne, and Mitch Jacobs. That is your defensive line, as now we move into the linebacker core for the Trailblazers. From left to right is going to be number 47, Malaki. Number 35, Sir Barnes, leading tackler for the Trailblazers. And number 5, Alex Lilliard. Your backs and safeties, your cornerbacks and safeties from left to right. Number 18, Ty Hill. Number 6, Darius Nash. Number 23, Samote Lokutui. Number 24, Aaron Simpson. Those are your backs. Now for the offensive side, your Dixie State backs and receivers. Number 7, DeJuan Danzler, Malcolm Ross Turner, Chase Hess, Jalen Powell, and Seiji Luongo is your running back. Starter for the offense is Keaton Mott at quarterback.
Those are your Cafe Sabor starting lineups, and that'll do it for our TDS pregame show as we get set to play some football here inside of Trailblazers Stadium. James Baird kicking it away. Kyler Harfum and Isaac Jefferson back deep to receive it. Harfum will backpedal, take it 2 yards deep in the end zone. He's got the football at the 10, 20, bounces off a defender, and is brought down across the 20 at the 22-yard line, and that is where the Dixie State defense will jog out onto the field to try to take on this Black Hills State offense.
Brought down by Darius Nash, was the one to actually bring him down, was hit at about the 15-yard line, was able to bounce off that tackle. That's what he does. He's hard to bring down. He's quick when he gets to the sideline. Darius Nash eventually able to bring him down.
14:55 to go on your Champion World scoreboard. Scoreless as the Yellow Jackets jog out onto the field for this first drive of the game. Again, we mentioned that we thought the starter would be Andrew Tovar. He is out injured. Instead, it will be Chance Eben, the redshirt freshman from Greeley, Colorado. He takes the first snap out of the shotgun, looking. He's looking for Harfum on the first play, and it's incomplete. Then a flag is going to fly late. As in pursuit and in coverage for the Trailblazers was Connor McKay, the linebacker. Looked like he might have a shot at a pick, but I think we're going to get pass interference.
They go to Harfum right away on this wheel route. He comes out into the flat.
Pass interference. Number 42 of the defense. The ball will be placed at the spot of the foul.
Mike kind of cutting out at the end, but it will be pass interference against Connor McKay. It looked to be good defense, but I think he got the hands on him just a little too much.
Yeah, the ball was a little bit overthrown, but that's why Kyler Harfum kind of ran into the defender.
On a first down now. They'll hand off out of the backfield, and it is the running back, and he'll pick up 7 yards and then is tagged after that. It's Nolan Susel taking the football out near the 40-yard line to the 38. He picks up 7. It'll be second down and 3.
That was Cajun Smith Bogrenovich on the tackle. They really lit him up there after a gain of about 6.
Black Hill State going to go quickly. Susel still in the backfield. He'll take it on second down, and he'll jump forward, and he is spotted either just shy or right at the marker. Where are they going to give him? I think he's going to be just shy. It's going to be third down and 1 for the Yellow Jackets. This Dixie State defense that has been solid against that run the last few weeks has given up a couple of runs back to back.
Just 31% third down efficiency for the Yellow Jackets this season.
14:01 to go on third down. Here's Susel for a third time consecutively, and he needed just 1 yard and gets just that 1 yard. It will be a first down. The chains will move for Black Hill State.
And the Yellow Jackets convert on their first third down opportunity of the game. You see there, Nolan just keeps his feet onto the ground and just able to kind of push forward and fall forward for the 1 yard necessary to pick up the first down.
They go quickly. Eben will fire, and it is caught by the big tight end. He's rumbling across the 50, across the 45, and then tag teamed and brought down by 4 red jerseys. Yet a linebacker in the area trying to bring down Jarrett Jensen, and he actually tried to go for the pick and missed it, which is what left Jensen wide open.
Yeah, and Jarrett's a load. Jarrett Jensen, 6'2", 250-pound redshirt sophomore from Ralph, South Dakota. You see there, receiver not able to get his hand on the ball, and then Cajun Smith Bogrenovich not able to bring him down there. Takes 2 different Trailblazers to bring him down.
Pistol formation for Black Hill State. Receiver in motion from right to left. They'll hand off out of the backfield. It's Susel once more, and he evades a couple of defenders, and he'll pick up almost 10 yards on the carry. He's got across the 40 down near the 35-yard line, and this Black Hill State offense, Drayson, is clicking and firing on all cylinders.
Been able to mix the run game in with the pass game. Nolan Susel's been really carrying the load for him after that pass from Jarrett Jensen.
Wildcat formation. Harfum will get set to take the snap. What will he do with it? He rolls out to his right. He's going to run. He is hit and driven back. First hit was Connor McKay, and then he's helped by a couple of other red jerseys as well. He'll pick up, he needed 4 yards for the first down, gets 3. It'll be third down and 1 inside the 35 down to the 34.
Trailblazers defense gets another opportunity to stop him here on third down. What would be a good drive for Black Hill State if they can continue this. Trailblazers could end it right now. Not quite in field goal range for Black Hill State.
On third and 1, here's Susel. Oh, he's got the first down and then some. He'll be brought down by Darius Nash and Alex Lilliard combining on that tackle. Needed just the 1, picked up 6 inside the 30 down to the 29-yard line. This Black Hill State offense continues to have its way with the Dixie State defense.
And the Yellow Jackets run a design counter, fake their handoff to the right, and then cuts back to the left. Darius Nash first to bring him down.
Mentioned it during the pregame show. I love this red jersey on a white pant combo for the Trailblazers. Eben swings it to Harfum. Left side, gets a block, angles his way down the field across the 25 down to the 23. A pickup of 6 yards on first down. It'll be second down and 4 as Black Hill State approaches the red zone.
And look for them to go to Harfum more in the red zone now as they inch it closer and closer to the 20-yard line. This is where they really like to use Kyler Harfum. He's very versatile in the open field.
Snap to Eben, play action, rolls out to his right, looking, pressure comes, has to get rid of it. Darius Nash was in the neighborhood, almost could have had an interception, couldn't quite get to him. Good pressure from Alex Lilliard to force Eben, exactly what we talked about in our keys to the game.
Yeah, he came on a linebacker blitz, and this one was really rushed by Eben. You see, throws it behind the receiver as you see Alex Lilliard puts the pressure on, and this one was nearly picked off by Darius Nash, not able to get to that one, but forces another third down and 4 for the Trailblazer defense to see if they can get them off the field.
11:35 to go in the first quarter. Third down and 4. Pressure coming. Fires. Catch made by Harfum. And diving for the 6. He gets past it. Needed 4, got 6. Inside the 20, down to the 18-yard line of Dixie State. Into the red zone. Brought to you by True by Hilton for the first time today.
Good high-low route ran by Black Hills State. Tanner Gamble was the deep receiver going down the field, and then Kyler Harfum came on about a 9-yard out route. That's where they found him enough for the first down.
11:19 to go in the first. On first down, they go back to Nolan Susel, and he'll plunge straight away into that line, and he'll pick up maybe 1 yard. Let's call it 1 yard. Second down and 9 coming up from the 22-yard line. I think Malaki in to help on that stop.
Yeah, this one just run right up the middle. Not a whole lot of running room as you see Malaki there bringing him down.
Black Hills State going quickly. Eben rolls out to his left, fires, tipped, and incomplete. Pass was intended for the backup tight end, Josiah Drain. 3 red jerseys in the area, and they break that pass up. Too bad you couldn't get a tip up into the air and try to get another tip drill interception.
Chance even tried to throw this one into double coverage. Aaron Simpson and Darius Nash were there. Good coverage there to able to knock this ball out, forcing once again another third down. We talked about it in our pregame show, just 31% on third downs this season. Trailblazers need to get a stop here to get their offense onto the field.
Black Hills State 2 for 2 on third down on this opening drive. Scoreless with 10:52 to go in the first. Here's Eben on 3rd and 9. Has time. Now he's going to have to run with it. Being pressured by Ty Heaton. Will fire it, just has to throw it away. Ty Heaton able to escape the grasp of the offensive lineman. Malaki came over to help as well. Eben fires it away. Field goal attempt upcoming for Sean Dorney.
Yeah, good coverage downfield from the Trailblazers. Kind of put their heels right on the goal line. Would not let anything be caught. It's enough for a first down. You see his Chance Eben steps up in the pocket initially, has to scramble to his left. Malaki putting lots of pressure on him and forced to just throw this one away to force a field goal attempt.
This is Dorney's just second field goal attempt of the season, and this one will be from 34 yards out right hash. He is 1 for 1 along of 36. Flag flies. The kick is blocked, but we may have an offsides call. There is a flag, and it's going to be offsides. It jumped offsides on the far side. Here's the call from the official. They're going to get another shot at this field goal, Jason.
Yeah, going to get 5 yards.
Side. Defense, number 24. 5-yard penalty. Replay. 4th down.
It's not the first time Aaron Simpson has jumped off sides on a PAT or a field goal block opportunity, and there's a reason they were able to kind of get in the backfield. So they'll scoot in 5 yards, and this will turn into a 29-yard field goal instead of a 34-yard field goal. And let's see what Sean Dorney can do with this second chance. Trying to give Black Hills State a 3-0 lead. The snap, the hold is better. The kick is up, and it splits the uprights. You give him 2 chances, he's going to take advantage of that second chance. With 10:34 to go on your one-loss scoreboard, Black Hills State takes a 3-0 lead here in the opening quarter. Let's take a 60-second timeout, and we will come right back on the Trailblazer Football Network.
There is a place where looking out means looking in, where an impression lasting only a few seconds will be imprinted on a life forever, where courage is forged and innocence rediscovered, where remembering is rewarding and forgetting unforgettable. There is a place where truth is felt and where seeing is believing. There is a place.
Radio Dixie 91.3. We don't play that. Nope, not that. A big fat no there. That's what we play. And stuff like that. On St. George's only alternative, Radio Dixie 91.3. Oh, and from 9 till midnight, we play this. And this.
Welcome back inside
Radio
Trailblazer
Dixie,
Stadium.
91.3
14th play
FM.
drive for the Yellow Jackets. And the ensuing kickoff is banged out of the end zone for a touchback by the Black Hills State kicker, Jacob Parks. He's the punter, but he does the kickoff duties, and then Sean Dorney, who just nailed that 29-yard field goal to cap the 14-play drive, does the place kicking. The Trailblazers will jog out onto the field for the first time today, and if we can, maybe let's take another look at those Dixie State offensive starters. We had to rush through them before the game. So starting line is brought to you by Cafe Sabor. Keaton Mott will be your quarterback today, leading the troops out onto the field. And then we look at the front 5 for the Trailblazers. Across the front of the offensive line, you've got Nate Aceves, Josh Partita, Walker Holgreen, Tima Malia Tulua, and Taylor Deep Jowney left tackle. And I'm reading an old sheet here. On first down, Mott will hand off to Andrew Kennelly Robles out of the backfield. turns the corner on the right side, 40, still on his feet, 50, stepped out of bounds just in front of the 50-yard line. So it wasn't CJ Luongo getting the start and getting the first touch. It's Andrew Kennelly Robles, and he makes the most of it.
That's what we talked about in the pregame show. Get this run game early. You see Kennelly Robles does a good job of reading the hole that's closed off. He bounces it outside and gets a big first down on this first carry of the game.
10:15 to go in the first. We'll give you the actual starters for the offensive line in just a moment. Mott, first passing attempt, will load up, fire downfield, a wobbly throw. Xavier Smith able to get to it. That ball was supposed to be in the center of the field, but he went from left hash to right hash and made the catch for a 20-plus yard gain for the Trailblazers.
Yeah, Mott was rushed, does a good job of staying in the pocket, willing to take a hit. You see there, gotten hit by Cole Miller on that right side, and then Xavier Smith does a good job of coming out of his formation.
What a play. Mott quickly on first down will swing it back to Xavier Smith, makes the catch, but is hit immediately by the defender, Lathan Stevens, on that right side.
Yeah, that was just a little screen pass out there, trying to get it to Xavier Smith out wide and just not able to get that key block that you need to get on that cornerback. As you see, Mott swings it out there, and that's Lathan Stevens doing a good job of shucking that block from Ricky Johnson to make the tackle in the backfield.
The actual starting offensive line: Adib Jowney, Siotami Haunga, Nathan Aceves, Walter Punya, and Kyle Whitesides. Read option. Mott will leave it with Kennelly Robles, and he'll dive off tackle to the right for a pickup of 2 yards. It will be 3rd down and 9 upcoming after losing 1 yard on first down.
Kennelly Robles, he just gets this handoff here and tries to bounce it up into the middle, but just met by a host of Yellow Jackets and able to get past the original line of scrimmage, forced down a 3rd and maybe a long 8.
Trailblazers 38% on first down so far this season, 25 of 65. Their first attempt on 3rd down today. 3rd and 8 from the Black Hill State 24-yard line, knocking on the True by Hilton red zone. Mott with time, looking, throws across the middle, high. Ricky Johnson battling with the defender. Who's got it? Somebody has made the catch. Who is it? Is it Dixie State or is it the defender and Black Hill State? The referee pointing this way, and Ricky Johnson, the freshman, coming up big, making the catch across the middle for the Lonnie Boys Barbecue first down.
Yeah, and Ricky Johnson is just absolutely strong. He grabs this one out of the hands of the defender. Looks like that's Josh Gurnaby in coverage and just brings it down to set up a 1st and 10 from the 15.
Inside the True by Hilton red zone, play action. Mott will roll out to his right, fires to the end zone just a little bit too high for Xavier Smith. And you saw Mott, as soon as he let the ball go, he knew it. He slapped his hands on the ground. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, Mott was just being patient, waiting for the window to open. He had a tight little window as Xavier Smith came across the formation, covered by Josh Gurnaby. He puts it in his spot where only his receiver could get it, but just a little bit too high and hard on that one.
It'll be 2nd down and 10 from the Black Hill State 14-yard line inside the True by Hilton red zone. Andrew Kennelly Robles still in the backfield. He takes the handoff on 2nd down and will steam forward through the line. Some extracurriculars going on. No flags as of yet. They're going to give maybe 2 yards to Kennelly Robles on 2nd down. We'll call it 3rd down and 8 from the 12.
Trailblazers continue to try to get this run game going up the middle. They haven't had a whole lot of success on this drive. The only run was that first run to start the drive, but that one got to the outside. This one, the 3rd run that's gone up the middle, not for much gain, just 2 yards on this one.
8:30 remaining here in the first quarter. Both teams going on extended drives on this first possession. Devin Osborne is in at receiver. Mott, pressure comes, and is able to shed a tackler and tries to throw the football. It's loose. Is it a fumble? No, it's an incomplete pass on 3rd down. My, oh my, a lot going on that play. For a moment, it looked like Mott's face mask was being tugged, but it was actually just his jersey. Couldn't tell from way up here, and he's able to get rid of it. It'll be an incomplete pass instead of a sack. And if we had replay as we take a look at this one, that may actually have been a fumble. The Dixie State may have gotten away with one. Either way, James Baird will jog out onto the field and try to tie this game at 3, a 30-yarder straight away.
Yeah, fortunately for the Trailblazers, this one was ruled an incomplete pass on the field, but a good job by Keaton to avoid the sack and try to get that one at least just to throw it away and force up a field goal attempt for Dixie State.
Trailblazers going to half.
Dixie State, their first of the half.
To burn a timeout with 8:11 on the scoreboard. We'll keep it right here throughout the timeout. Remind you that timeouts are brought to you by Dairy Queen. But again, the Trailblazers, a promising drive. We're not able to convert on third down. Good coverage downfield by Black Hills State. And now James Baird will jog out onto the field to try to keep his good stuff going on. He's 5 for 5 so far on the season, a long of 40. This will be a 30-yard attempt from straight away for the Trailblazers to try to tie this thing at 3. James Baird came down with Coach Peterson from Snow College, has missed just 1 extra point. He has been a breath of fresh air for this Dixie State special teams unit, this Dixie State kicking game in particular.
Yeah, he's been as good as advertised. He's really given the Trailblazers a lot of confidence, especially when they get into this part of the field within the 20. He's just about automatic as he lines up for this 30-yard field goal to try to even this one up at 3.
8:11 to go. James Baird from 30 to try to tie it. The hold, the kick is good. 6 for 6 for James Baird. He hits from 30. We are tied at 3 on your Camping World scoreboard with 8:07 remaining in the first. We take a 60-second timeout and come right back on the Trailblazer Football Network.
When I was growing up, my mom was extremely tidy. We were trained to put things back where we got them from. One day, when I walked into my mom's house, I felt like I walked to someone else's house. There was stuff everywhere. And just growing up the way I grew up and to see this transition was very alarming.
When Sean talked to me, it was a wake-up call, and that's when I went to the doctor.
For over a century, Dixie State University has been shaping the trailblazers of tomorrow by providing a culture of active learning, active life. With a paradigm of real-world experience mixed with cutting-edge technologies and rich traditions, we provide one of the most affordable educations in the West, set against the most stunning backdrop on the planet.
Welcome back inside Trailblazer Stadium. The timeout actually did turn into the media timeout. The Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference opting to follow the media timeout format. So once a quarter, you get a 90-second break where the Trailblazers answer from 30 yards out to tie this game at 3-3. Both teams on their opening drives showing flashes of brilliance, getting down inside the True by Hilton red zone, and then both teams having to settle for field goals. And Dixie State, Black Hill State tied at 3 after the 9-play drive by the Trailblazers.
Yeah, I think if you're the Trailblazers, the first possession defensively for you, I think you're happy to come away with 3 yards. And then obviously if you're Black Hill State defensively, you're probably saying the exact same thing, happy to come away just giving up 3. So I think a good start to this game for both sides.
It'll be Harfum returning for Black Hill State, catches at the 5 center of the field. He's out to the 20, and a shoestring tackle by Malcolm Ross Turner, the redshirt freshman who had a career day last week at South Dakota Mines. He made 5 catches, had a couple of special teams tackles last week. He gets one here, able to shoestring tackle Harfum.
Yeah, Malcolm Ross Turner does a good job of getting downfield. He's kind of a versatile guy as well, as he's able to make that tackle on special teams. He plays offense as well. 3 total tackles on special teams, as well as a career day last week receiving. So he can do it all.
Black Hill State brings the offense back out onto the field for the second time today. 8:01 on your Camping World scoreboard. Dixie State and Black Hill State tied at 3. Here's Eben, leaves it with Gilmore, the backup running back, who's actually the upperclassman and has been with this program for 4 years. He'll pick up 2 yards on first down. Second down and 8 coming up for Black Hill State. Gilmore is listed as number 2 on the depth chart, but he has more carries on the season.
Yeah, he's a 6'1" senior from Shamrock, Texas, as he gets the carry there, backing up a 5'11" redshirt freshman in Nolan Susel. But yeah, like you said, he's got more carries on the season, but Nolan Susel has shown a little bit more versatility.
Empty backfield for Eben as Gilmore motions out to the left and makes the catch on a swing pass. And Gilmore is going to be knocked out of bounds, and a flag will fly. And all I'm going to say about this is I think this is incidental contact on the sideline. I hope the officials will get together and discuss if they're talking about possibly calling a late hit. That's all we're going to say about it. We'll wait and see what the call is.
Yeah, Gilmore was the one who initiated the contact and kind of stiff-armed the defender. I think just as the defender fell to the ground, almost kind of just rolled into his legs, and that's what caused him to kind of stumble out of bounds there. The referees are discussing it. Wondering if that might be the verdict.
And the flag came from beyond the first down marker, someone who maybe didn't have the best look at it. All they saw.
There were 2 fouls on the play, one by each team. During the run, personal foul, illegal block below the waist by number 83 of the offense. Late hit by the defense. Both fouls will result in automatic first down.
Of course, both fouls, and it'll be an automatic first down. Some struggles with the referee, Mike, once again. So he had a chop block down below the waist right there
on the right side of your
Darius
screen.
Nash. And then let's take a look at this late hit. A stiff arm on Aaron Simpson. Yeah, that's a good call. Yep. Will Yamasaki coming over and hitting him late out of bounds. We couldn't see. That's what replay's for.
Yep.
We couldn't see that well from up here. But, yeah, so they'll enforce both. I mean, the result of the play won't be very long. It'll be another first down. They'll get a few yards out of it. And here we go. 7:18 to go in the first. First down and 10 for the Yellow Jackets at their own 28-yard line. A run up the middle. It's Gilmore, and he picks up the first down. Gets 10 yards exactly as the Trailblazer secondary was trying to strip the football away but couldn't get it loose. Another first down for Black Hills State.
Yeah, another counter play ran by Black Hills State. We saw them do this in the first drive to some success as well. To give it to Gilmore here, and he's a load at 6'1", and tough to bring down as he picks up 10 yards for the first down.
6th first down of the game for Black Hills State. Harpham from the Wildcat. Read option. He's going to keep it. He's free across the 40 and then stopped and driven back just across the 40. Alex Lilliard gets to him first, and then his buddies come and help bring him down, including Krishan Gordon, the freshman, and Cajun Smith-Begrevich, the sophomore.
And that's a good example of exactly what Kyler Harpham can do. Run the Wildcat, and when he gets into open space, even Alex Lilliard makes a great open field stop, but Harpham is very slippery, if you will, able to get out of that tackle and force 2 of the Trailblazers to make the stop.
Even with Gilmore at his right hip and 2 receivers split out to either side. Play action. We'll throw across the middle, and it's complete to Drain, the tight end. Alex Lilliard almost got a hand on it in the middle of the field. Couldn't get it. Drain was almost caught off guard by the pass, but he's able to haul it in and get the first down across midfield down near the 40-yard line.
Yeah, the Yellow Jackets were running a crossing route, a set of crossing routes. You see Isaac Jefferson came underneath, and Josiah Drain went about 15 yards downfield, kind of almost crossed each other, one in front of the other. That's why Jefferson was so confused about where the pass was going.
6 minutes even to go in the first. Harpham. And is brought down in the backfield. What a tackle. Who else? Dylan Hendrickson. They go from the Wildcat formation. They run a receiver in motion. He fakes the handoff to the receiver. It looked like Harpham would have some room to run, but Hendrickson gets in the backfield and trips him up.
Yeah, good shoestring tackle here by Henderson. As you see, just grabbed one of his legs and able to trip him up, bring him back down for a loss of 3 on the play.
Watching that replay, it almost looked like Harpham was expecting to hand the football off. Here's Eben. Eben will have to dump it as pressure comes, and it's incomplete. Tried to fire it to Peyton Gilmore. Gilmore was not ready for the pass. It falls incomplete. 3rd down and 13 upcoming for this Trailblazer defense.
Yeah, and good pressure put on Chance Eben. This is what we said earlier in the pregame show. Good pressure supplied by number 44, Mitch Jacobs, to force a 3rd down and 13 at the 45-yard line. A good spot for the Trailblazers if they can force a 4th down play here.
Yellow Jackets are 3 for 4 on 3rd down today after coming in at 31% on the year. Eben loads up, fires, incomplete, no flags. Good defense by the freshman Krishan Gordon. He waited for the ball to hit the fingertips of Hassan Williams, the intended receiver. As soon as that touch was made, he took out the legs. Incomplete pass.
Would have been a tough pass to bring down had he got his hands on it a little bit better. You see Hassan Williams, the intended receiver, but a good job by the defensive back Gordon to be able to kind of just time his hit at such a moment where it was right after Hassan Williams touched the ball and he undercuts him to force the incomplete pass.
Great look from our CEC TV crew on the sideline, by the way. It will be Parks to punt it away, standing at his own 40. Xavier Smith is standing back at his 10-yard line, center of the football field. End over end kick. Smith is going to let it go past him, and it will bounce into the end zone. It had the end over end spin, trying to get that to kick back, but too much on it into the end zone. Touchback, but a flag sitting in the center of the field, just shy of the 35-yard line of Dixie State.
Yeah, this is not, it's not going to be a running into the kicker. This is past the line of scrimmage. It's almost at the first down markers. We get the call from the referee.
During the kick, holding number 45 of the receiving team. That penalty will be enforced 10 yards from the touchback spot. First down.
Holding on the kick.
Not a penalty I'm fond of, just because there wasn't a return attempt. It was into the end zone, and it is what it is. I mean, those are the rules.
Yes.
I just not fond of that particular call when it doesn't affect the outcome of the play.
It's there. Rules are rules. They're enforcing what they saw. We're just saying that let's take that out of the rule book.
Yeah, there's other calls like that when there's holding or other penalties that don't necessarily affect the play.
We were just talking about the other day when we were doing some film breakdown and watching this game, last week's game, getting ready. Trailblazers back on the field offensively. Mott will swing it out to Canelli Robles. Makes the catch, line of scrimmage right side, gets past 2 tacklers, and he will pick up, where do they mark him out of bounds? They're going to say he stepped out of bounds after picking up 3 yards out to the 13-yard line. Second down and 7 upcoming for the Trailblazers.
Just a little swing pass out to Canelli Robles. Does a good job of avoiding the leading tackler for the Yellow Jackets, Josh Kernaby, before being tackled out of bounds for a gain of 3.
4:50 remaining here in the first. Mott claps his hands. We'll leave it with Canelli Robles, and he gets back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Third down and 7 upcoming, and we had Coach Peterson on the Trailblazer Weekly Show a couple of weeks ago, and he said, look, we're seeing too many quick 3-and-outs in the first half of games, and if Dixie State can't convert on third down here, that's the way it's looking like this drive may be headed. Trailblazers 1 for 2 on third down so far today.
And Kadeem Phillip and Cole Miller tag team to make that tackle just at the line of scrimmage.
4 receivers for Keaton Mott. Drops back, fires to Canelli Robles out of the backfield, has blockers. He's across the 20 and is knocked out of bounds across the 20 at the 22-yard line. Needed 7, and they'll mark it at the 21. Needed 7, got 8. First down for the Trailblazers. First down brought to you by Lonnie Boy's Barbecue.
Yeah, this was a good screen setup. As you see, Keaton Mott just lofts it over those rushing defenders to get it to Kelly Robles. Does a good job of waiting to follow his blockers. A lot of times we'll see running backs get antsy and just run as fast as they can and not wait for those blockers to get out ahead of them.
3:58 to go in the first. Mott on first down. Lobs it across the middle. Catch is made by Ross Turner. Still on his feet, shifting back and forth, and is tackled near the right hash at the 25-yard line. And he will pick up a pickup of 4 yards on the play. Second down and 6.
And a well-run route here by Michael Ross Turner. As you see, Mott just finds him over the middle. He does a good job of making a couple guys miss on some shoestring tackles and then picks up 4 yards.
Empty backfield. 5 receiver set. Pressure come. Mott fires across the middle, intended for Malcolm Ross Turner. He got his hands on it, but then it was nearly picked off by the Black Hills State safety lurking back there. Or the linebacker, that's Caleb Meisner, who was back there helping put pressure on.
And that was the middle linebacker, Kyle Kettlehut, for the Yellow Jackets, putting pressure on Mott there. He had to just get rid of that. I'm not sure that was the greatest decision. That one was a tip drill and nearly was intercepted by the Yellow Jackets.
Another third down. Second third down of this drive. 2 for 3 for the game on third down. Mott with time. Across the middle, Ross Turner has some trouble handling it, brings it in, but he's brought down right at the line of scrimmage, and Dixie State will have to punt this one away.
Yeah, give him 1 yard on the forward progress, but, I thought initially he had some room to run. Malcolm Ross Turner just could not bring that one in. Initially, he had to kind of bobble it a little bit before he was able to get his feet under him, and that's why he was not able to continue to run and just gained 1 yard on the play.
Mott will come in to punt this one away, and it will be Kyler Harfum set to return for Black Hills State. The normal return guy, Sam Garcia, ruled out for today, will not play for Black Hills State. Mott gets this one away. Short kick. Struggled a little bit last week, and this will be a short kick on his first attempt today, and it bounces across the 50 and out of bounds at the Black Hills State 49-yard line. Good field position for the Yellow Jackets after this punt attempt.
Yeah, Keaton Mott initially got off to a good start punting on the season, was averaging nearly 43 yards per punt. That average came down a little bit last week with some shorter punts. This one not a great one. Will set up Black Hills State just 1 yard away from Dixie State territory.
2:41 to go in the first. We let you know today's game is brought to you by Seven Oaks Jewelers, our great halftime sponsor. We'll break down the first half stats. Anytime we talk about numbers, that's brought to you by Rock Canyon Bank. It's Jefferson taking the handoff on a first down around the left end. He's at the numbers across the 45 down near the 40 and will be marked at the 38-yard line. of Dixie State.
Yeah, Jefferson has these quick feet that he's able to use these little jump cuts, and he's really tough to bring down when he gets into space. And even there, you see him dragging 2 defenders with him to nearly the first down, second down and 1.
And they mark it actually back at the 41 is where it will be officially. Second down and 1 for Black Hills State. Play action, Eben loading up. Pressure comes, and he's going down. Kyle Murray in to help bring him down was the first one there. Fred Prescott in on the sack as well for the Trailblazers, and that is big. It'll be third down and mark him back. Third down and 5 upcoming.
Murray working on right guard or right tackle Troy Middlestetter.
On third down, Eben looking to the left sideline, and his receiver over there, Jordan Pace, but he short arms it at 1 hops, incomplete, fourth down. Black Hills State will have to punt it away.
And a good recovery if you're the Trailblazers. After giving up 9 yards on first down, you get the sack, and then the hurry to force a low throw here by Eben, and they force a fourth down and a Yellow Jackets punt.
1:41 to go in the first. Xavier Smith will stand back near his 10-yard line to field this punt again. Again, the Trailblazers, first time they've worn this uniform combo. Red jersey, white pants, red helmet. Black Hills State, white jersey, green pants with the yellow stripe down the pants, and a green helmet with the Yellow Jacket logo. It'll be Parks to punt this one away. Smith calls for the fair catch and makes it inside the 15 at the 13-yard line, and Dixie State will take over at its own 13.
Yeah, the Trailblazers exchange punts with the Yellow Jackets as they get their offense back out onto the field. Still plenty of time, obviously a minute and a half left in the first quarter. Still plenty of time for the Trailblazers to see if they can get that offense moving. They really tried to focus on the run a lot of times in that first drive where they came away with 3 points. Not to a lot of success. Like to see them, see if they can maybe get some runs off the edge instead of going up the middle where they haven't been having a lot of success so far.
CJ Luongo coming out to play the running back position. Your receivers are Ricky Johnson, Xavier Smith, and Chase Hess, the tight end. On first down, they'll give to CJ. And his hit driven back in the backfield. A loss of 2. Second down and 12 upcoming for the Trailblazers.
Yeah, it was Keyshawn Farmer supplying the original pressure that forced CJ up the middle, and then it was number 20, Hunter Stevens, that was able to hit the knockout blow.
Clock rolling, 1:16 to go in the first. We are tied at 3. 4 receivers set for Mott. Standing in the shotgun with Luongo at his right hip. Mott, slant route across the middle, caught by Xavier Smith. Zipped past 1 defender, gets across the 25 down to the 29-yard line. A pickup of 18 on the pitch and catch from Mott to Xavier Smith.
Xavier Smith is so good on yards after catch. You see, once he grabs it, he turns immediately upfield and is able to split between 2 defenders. He's lightning quick.
They go hurry up, hustle back to the line. CJ Luongo will dive forward and pick up 2 yards. Second down and 8 upcoming. Ball across the 30 down to the 31-yard line. And game clock at 40, play clock at 31. So we will see another play here in the first quarter. Second down and 8 for the Trailblazers at their own 31-yard line. 3 receivers set for Keaton Mott. Luongo. Fake handoff, fire across the middle to tight end. Chase Hess making the catch across the 50 down to the 45, making the 44-yard line of Black Hills State.
Yeah, just a simple seam route for Chase Hess. Starts on the right side of the formation and just goes straight up the field. Keaton Mott does a good job of waiting for that window to open as he puts it right on the money for Chase Hess, and a huge gainer puts him into Black Hills territory.
Chase Hess, the sure-handed tight end. They followed Coach Peterson down from Snow College. Read option, Mott going to keep it across the 45. Hurdles a man across the 40 to the 33-yard line of Black Hills State. What a play by Keaton Mott.
Yeah, good block on the edge by Malcolm Ross Turner. He's the one that put his defender on the ground. You see here, he jumps over Keyshawn Farmer right there. There's Ross Turner with the block and the hurdle from Keaton Mott. What a play.
That'll do it for the first quarter. It's not often you have to see a quarterback hurdle his own guy to keep the play going, but that's what happened. A great play by Keaton Mott for another Lonnie Boys Barbecue first down. After 1 quarter of play, Dixie State 3, Black Hills State 3. Let's take just a 30-second timeout, a quick 30, and come right back on the Trailblazer Football Network.
Hi, I'm Smokey Cole Bear, filling in because for 75 years, Smokey only said,
"Only you can prevent wildfires."
Meanwhile, the song was wrong. We did start the fire. Go to SmokeyBear.com to learn more about wildfire prevention.
Play Eric Almirola's Race Day Mix.
There is a place where the sun doesn't hide in the winter, where the greens stay green and the crimson canyons still glow. There is a place where
welcome back inside the Trailblazer Stadium broadcast booth on the radio side. TV side will catch up with us here in just a moment. 15 minutes of football in the books, Grayson, and we are tied at 3 to St. Louis and Ruck. Kansas State statistics for you by the numbers. Dixie State, total offense, 134 yards on 19 plays, 89 yards for Black Hill State on 24 plays.
Yeah, the Trailblazers doing a good job right now, just gaining yards all over. They've increased their rush yards to 38 after that big gainer by Keaton Mott. And then 96 yards passing through the air, doing a very good job right now on all facets.
Dixie State 2 of 4 on third down in the first quarter. It's first down and 10 right now from the BHSU 32-yard line. Mott from the shotgun. 3-step drop, steps forward in the pocket, wings it across the middle. Chase Hess again. Stiff arms the guy, still on his feet. Rumbling at the 10, down to the 5. He's going to score! Touchdown, Chase Hess!
What a run!
What a run by the big man!
Tough to bring down. Chase Hess would not be denied on this play as he catches this one over the middle and then just rumbles, bumbles, and stumbles for a Trailblazer touchdown. You see him coming across the formation. Keaton Mott does a good job stepping up into the pocket, avoiding the pressure. You see there's 1, there's 2, 3, 4 tackles still not going down. There's 5 tackles, breaks 6 tackles on that play to score the Trailblazers' first touchdown, and they take a 9-3 lead.
James Baird on for the PAT with 14:47 to play. The hold, the kick is up, and it is good. Dixie State taking the 10-3 lead. 14:47 to play in the second on your Camping World scoreboard. Keaton Mott to Chase Hess, 32-yard pitch and catch. Trailblazers lead it. We take a 60-second timeout, come back on the Trailblazer Football Network.
All right, Monroe, you ready? Monroe. Here we go, the butterfly. Ready? Ooh.
Welcome back inside the broadcast. Dixie State leading it 10-3 with 14:47 to go. The Trailblazers marching down the field to take the lead. This ensuing kickoff, short and returnable, fielded by Kyler Harpham at the 5. He's out across the 25, across the 30, and will be marked down to the Black Hill State 32-yard line. That's where the Yellow Jackets will take over.
Decent return for the Yellow Jackets off of the touchdown from Chase Hess. His first touchdown of the season, and what a run it was. Tremendous catch and run from Chase Hess, and really set the Trailblazers up in a good position, leading 10-3 as we start the second quarter.
And his first touchdown in a Trailblazer uniform, if you will, followed. He had a couple catches on that drive, and that is our early leading candidate for our Honolulu Grill play of the game, and in turn will likely make it into our Honolulu Grill plays of the week next week on Trailblazer Weekly. On first down, they go to Gilmore, and he is swallowed up. Fred Prescott got to him first, and then he had some help coming in from the backfield to bring him down.
Yeah, Fred Prescott is a load up front. He's a 6'4" freshman, 375-pound defensive lineman out of Orem, Utah. Just wrapped him up and then threw him to the ground.
Nazi Salih came in to help finish him off afterward. And it's second down and 12. Wildcat formation. Here's Harpham. High snap. He's able to bring it down. Feeling his way around the right side, and he is going to pick up a couple of yards. It was 2nd down and 12. He'll get back to the original line in scrimmage. It'll be 3rd down and 10. Boy, it looked like you had him nailed for another loss, but Harpham so quick, so fast to turn that corner, and he turns it into a 2-yard gain.
It gets back to the original line of scrimmage, but had he been able to get that edge and not been forced out, he would have had the sideline and might have gone for 6. Good job by the Trailblazers to not break contain as they saw him get out to that outside.
We've got an official timeout on the near sideline. Referee having a discussion with Devin Chandler, and they're going to make Chandler leave the game. Not sure why. Ty Hill will come in, and he'll be lined up one-on-one with Kyler Harpham on the left side of the formation.
Might have been pointing to his helmet or some sort of maybe violation. Maybe it was his headband that was coming out of the back of his helmet. That must have been what it is. He's adjusting that right now
on
the
3rd down, play action. Here's Ebum, forced out to his right. Will dump it out of the backfield to Gilmore, but he threw it over his head. Incomplete. Dixie State will force the punt and will get the ball back.
Yeah, an uncharacteristic mistake is so thus far in this game by Chance Ebum. Looked like this was almost looked like a throwaway, but he didn't really have to do that. He had Gilmore there on the right side of the formation, and it would have had a few yards to run. Now maybe he would have got the 1st down, but this one was thrown way over the head of Gilmore and had no chance to bring that one in.
Jacob Parks will begin to punt this one away for the 3rd time today. And Xavier Smith again standing back at his own 25-yard line. High snap, Parks able to bring it down, punts it away, good kick, end-over-end kick, forces Smith backwards, makes the catch, backpedaling, avoids the defender, another defender moving from left to right. And it is brought down from behind, almost fumbled the football, but he's able to hold on to it, and Dixie State will take over just shy of the 30-yard line at its own 29.
And this is what we talked about on the open. The Trailblazers right now leading 10-3 after getting that touchdown on the previous possession, forced a 3-and-out for Black Hills State. This is what we talked about, where if you get to an early start, don't let them get any hope. Continue to pressure them. Continue to put points on the board. See if you can't extend this lead going forward, and don't let them get back into it if you can avoid it.
Keaton Mott, still your quarterback. Out there on 1st down, will take the snap, hand off to C.J. Luongo, head of steam, and he'll pick up 3 yards. He had a head of steam, and then it was brought to an abrupt end as he ran into the Black Hills State linebackers. Kettlehut.
Yeah, Kyle Kettlehut did a good job of plugging up this hole right there. You see him bringing down C.J. Luongo by the legs. Hole opened up initially, but closed quickly by the Yellow Jackets.
2nd down and 7. Keaton Mott had some red sleeves on. He's shed those. A little warm down on the field, approaching 80 degrees. They'll swing it to Luongo on 2nd down. He'll pick up on the forward progress 2 more yards, and it will be 3rd down and 5, just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34.
And there's a reason Josh Gurnaby is the leading tackler for Black Hills State. Once he wraps you up, he doesn't rarely let you go. This was the case here as Luongo got out to the sideline, kind of near to that, in between the hashes and the down markers. And Gurnaby wraps him up and brings him down.
3rd down and 5 for the Trailblazers. Ball at their own 34-yard line, 12:24 to go on your Camping World scoreboard. Dixie State a 10-3 lead. Just into the 2nd quarter. Mott claps the hands, the late handoff to Sajay. He's got room across the 40, spinning away from a defender at the 45. 1st down and more for Sajay Luongo, his first big run of the game. And then he's going to look back down at the defender. Bailey Rosenstraw says, kind of points back at him and said, I got you on that one.
Yeah, this was a really good run by Sajay Luongo. He's so quick with his feet. He can make these small jump cuts, make those spins, and then obviously he can power his way forward to fall forward for extra yards.
Trailblazers quickly back up to the line. Read option. Mott's going to keep it across the 45, lowers the shoulder and bangs into a defender out of bounds across the marker, just shy of the 40 at the 43-yard line. Another 1st down brought to you by Lonnie Boy's Barbecue.
And Keaton Mott introduces himself to Keyshawn Farmer, the cornerback for Black Hill State.
Nice to meet you, Keyshawn.
And ends this run with a statement, lowers his shoulder as he goes out of bounds and puts Keyshawn Farmer to the ground.
Back-to-back 1st down runs for the Trailblazers. Who on 1st down now from the 42-yard line with 3 receivers. Mott fumbles the snap and will have to dive on it. Was making his move before he saw the ball into his hands. Luckily able to fall on it. He'll lose 3 yards on the play, 2nd down and 13. Coach Peterson talked about that happening a couple of times last week at South Dakota Mines, and talking about needing to eliminate that, unfortunately happens again here.
Yeah, he just takes his eye off the ball after he calls for the snap. He looked like he was taking his eye off. He really wanted to get it looked like it was going to be a fake to C.J. Luongo to set up a play-action pass. Just took his eyes off the football for long enough to drop that one, had to fall on it.
Loss of 4 officially. Empty backfield for Mott on 2nd down. He'll wing it to Devin Osborne. He's going to make the catch, has to go to the ground to make it at the 40-yard line near the right hash. He'll get back across the original line of scrimmage and then some. Call it a pickup of 6 on the play. It'll be 3rd down and 8 for the Trailblazers.
Any positive yardage you can gain on 2nd and more than 10 is good to set up a 3rd down and at least manageable. Not ideal a 3rd down and 8, but at least a 3rd down and 16 as it would have been on the previous play.
Pistol formation. Read option. Mott going to keep it again around the right end. 35. Prancing around near the 30, and he'll step out of bounds across the 1st down marker to the Black Hill State 31-yard line. Another Lonnie Boys Barbecue 1st down.
And Mott was high-stepping his way after carrying out a good fake by C.J. Luongo. He carries this one out.
And he is shaken up on the play. He is out of this football game. He took an awkward hit at the end of that run, and he is out. Being attended to on the Dixie State sideline, reaching down toward one of those lower extremities. We will not speculate as to what that may be. Play has halted. I'm not sure if Dixie State called a timeout or if they're giving them an injury timeout at this point. No indication of what this is. So we'll keep it right here and let you know that timeouts are brought to you by Dairy Queen. This may be the media time. I don't know, an awkward spot for the media timeout. Not sure what it is exactly, but everyone taking drinks. Here's the replay, Drayson. Let's take a look at the replay. He was high-stepping, so his legs were in kind of a risky spot coming down. We'll see if we can see this toward the end. High steps, and it's going to get rolled up on right there. The left foot ankle kind of going to turn up just a little bit. And he is being attended to just off of the track. He's made his way past the sideline, and if you're the crowd, you almost can't see him because he's hiding behind some of those sponsor signs, and that will bring Cody Wilstead into the football game. Did not play last week because he was a little banged up. Here we go on 1st down. Wilstead will give to C.J. Luongo, and he'll fight his way forward. And he'll pick up 3 yards on the play, 2nd down and 7. You hope Mott is okay.
Yeah, the Trailblazers continue to go with his run up the middle, and this one gains about 2.5, maybe 3 yards as C.J. Luongo keeps his feet churning and really powers forward on that 1st down carry.
They give him 2 yards officially. 2nd down and 8, ball at the 27. Play action. Wilstead across the middle. Blake Kilgore, touchdown Trailblazers. Cody Wilstead, his first pass in a couple of weeks, finds the tight end, Blake Kilgore, across the middle, and the Trailblazers utilizing the tight end position to their advantage. Both tight ends with a touchdown reception.
And what a beautiful play-action fake carried out by Wilstead and C.J. Luongo. As you see, that made Bailey Rosenstraw bite on that play action, and then Blake Kilgore obviously just streaming up the middle on a seam route, catches that one wide open.
Great throw by Wilstead. Tight spiral. That ball looked great. And the Trailblazers lead it 16-3 with 9:43 to go in the second. The James Baird PAT is up, and it is through. With 9:43 to go in the second quarter on your Camping World scoreboard, Dixie State 17, Black Hill State 3, the 60-second timeout, and we're back on the Trailblazer Football Network.
Our hearts are made stronger by how we treat others.
Put her there.
The light you share can impact those around you, but so can the darkness.
Later, twerps. Did Pete saying mean things bother you?
So when you reach out to another person, take a moment to consider how they will feel and let your heart be the key to making a difference. Because of you, someone's entire day, year, or even life can change.
In every heart, there's hope.
I take the road less traveled, run free, unwind, unravel some these red rocks and don't forget that blue sky. The sunshine shining, sunshine pouring on me. Think I might just stay a while. Say hooray all day because the sun is gonna shine on me. Sun is gonna shine on me.
Welcome back inside the broadcast. We are back inside the Trailblazer broadcast booth. We take another look at the 27-yard touchdown throw from Cody Wilstead to Blake Kilgore. And the Trailblazers lead it 17-3 with 9:43 to go in the second. Both tight ends, Drayson, with a touchdown catch in this football game.
Yeah, the Trailblazers doing a really good job. They must have seen something in film in preparation for this game that would lead them to believe that those tight ends would be open. And obviously, Blake Kilgore on that one. Chase Hess had the first one, his first touchdown of the season. And then, of course, Blake Kilgore, his first touchdown of the season as well. So the Trailblazers really spreading the love as far as touchdown passes go. And a good start for Cody Wilstead. You know, really, really tough to be put into that situation with your team driving. The starter gets injured initially, and then he has to come into the game. And really good job on his first pass.
And now what you're seeing as James Baird will put this one into play. And it is fielded by Isaac Jefferson on the left hash at the 10-yard line. He'll dance his way out across the 20 and brought down to the 25-yard line. That's where the Yellow Jackets will take over. What you're seeing now, as the Trailblazers don't have the football right now, so there's no immediate need for this. But this doesn't only affect the quarterback position, but you're seeing Hunter Wood, the Trailblazers' redshirt freshman punter from Murrieta, California, starting to warm up. He has not kicked at all yet this season. He's starting to kick that ball into the net to make sure that he's ready and that he can go if he's called on and he is needed with Keaton Mott out of this game.
Yeah, tough blow there. Not only your starting quarterback, but your best, your punter so far that you've used in every game this season. And so hopefully, obviously, Keaton Mott's okay. Whether he will be able to return to this game is not known.
On a first down, Yellow Jackets going to the third running back on the depth chart, and that is Andre Renteria. And he'll make his way around the left edge for a pickup of 4 yards. Second down and 6 upcoming.
Yeah, Renteria got a lot of carries in the first 2 games of the season. Hasn't seen much since then as Susul and Gilmore have gotten the bulk of the carries. But Renteria, another option out of the backfield for this Black Hills State football team.
On second down and 6. Shotgun snap to Eben. High throw to Harfum, and he makes the catch, but is wrapped up and brought down immediately by Darius Nash, who was lurking in the neighborhood. He makes the stop. No gain.
And this is what you have to do when tackling Kyler Harfum, is you have to wrap him up. You can't try to arm tackle him. As you see, they're wanting to get him out there and just see if he can get into open space, make guys miss, and make a play. But Darius Nash does a good job closing in on him, breaking him down, wrapping him up, and then finishing the tackle for just for no gain, basically.
Now they moved the spot. They're going to give him 2 yards on the play, so it'll be a third down and 4 at the 31-yard line. Play action, slant route across the middle, and it is caught by Isaac Jefferson. Had to go to his knees and make a diving catch, and he's able to do so, and it is a first down for Black Hills State out to the 37-yard line.
Yeah, the Trailblazers brought the house on this one, came with 2 linebacker blitzes, as you see Travis Plantier and Alex Lilliard both putting pressure on Chase Eben, and he's able to get this one out to Jefferson just enough for the first down.
8:13 and ticking to go here in the second. First down, they go back to Renteria, up the middle with space, across the 40, across the 45, still churning the legs, and then finally is brought down by a host of Trailblazers. You know, it's funny, and you've heard me harp on this time after time after time, and I sound like a broken record. No whistles ever rang out on that play. They allow the Dixie State defense to move him back and then stop him and tackle him, and then they bring it back out to the 41-yard line. Just stop the play when that progress is stopped. On second down and 1, Eben going to try to run for it, and it's hit by Connor McKay, the linebacker, and is stopped at the line of scrimmage. No gain. It'll be third down and 1.
Yeah, chance Eben try to get out into open field space and try to pick up this first down with his legs. You see as he scrambles out of the pocket, but a good job by Connor McKay to kind of just keep him level and bring him down there for no gain. Third and 1.
Third down and a 1 from the BHSU 46-yard line. Kind of a goal line formation for the Yellow Jackets. They go to Renteria, was hit initially behind the line of scrimmage, but he will feel his way forward for a pickup of 2 and the first down.
Yeah, this one, Tariq Wright had him dead to rights in the backfield. As you see there, no, excuse me, that's
DJ Hecker.
That's not Tariq Wright, that's DJ Hecker. He had him dead to rights there in the backfield, could not bring him down. Tried to have him, kind of one-arm him, bring him down. Not able to do so as they pick up the first down.
Well, at 5'11", 200, you're not going to arm tackle Renteria. New running back, I believe it's Peyton Gilmore again. Indeed it is. They go to Gilmore on first down across the 50, and he'll rumble to the Dixie State 47-yard line. Whistles and a timeout.
Must leave the game for one play.
And a helmet came off on that Black Hill State offensive lineman. It's Kyrie Keith. Loses his helmet. He'll have to check out. Thank goodness for the pronunciation guide. 6:25 to go. Dixie State leading 17-3. On second down, they go to Peyton Gilmore, and he's hit at the line of scrimmage. Right up the middle, he goes nowhere. 3rd down and 6, and the Trailblazers an opportunity to make a stop on 3rd down. Black Hill State 5 of 9 on 3rd down. You stop them here, Drayson, you still force a punt.
Yeah, good job there to kind of limit that run there by Gilmore as he tried to get up the middle. It just did not have any room to run, and the Trailblazers brought him down.
5:55 to go until halftime, and we're going to have a false start. Has to be. Black Hill State thought it was offsides. Dixie State players were able to get back out of the neutral zone, and the Black Hill State offensive lineman stood up.
Not in the neutral zone. False start. Offense, number 76. 5-yard penalty, it remains. 3rd down.
And a good explanation from our referee down there, as the defensive lineman was not in the neutral zone, and the offensive lineman stood up. False start. Now instead of 3rd and 6, you're looking at 3rd and 11.
Yeah, good break for the Trailblazers as they were able to get back onto their side on that hard count by Chance Eben, forcing up a 3rd down and long on this play.
On 3rd down, they find Harfum, and he wriggles out of a tackle. He's free to the Dixie State 40, across the 30, and he is pushed out of bounds at the 30-yard line. A big gainer and a first down for Black Hill State, and that's what he is so good at. If you don't stop him with the first attempt, he is going to get the sideline, and he is going to go. Devin Chandler not able to make that tackle.
Yeah, and that's what you got to do with Kyler Harfum. You have to wrap him up initially, because if he gets out and he gets the sidelines, it's going to be a long gainer.
Black Hill State rushes back up to the line, claps the hands, trying to draw Dixie State off sides. It's unsuccessful. And now they look back to the sideline and they'll reset. Play clock down to 10 on a first down to Gilmore, and he is wrapped up and he is going nowhere. Ty Heaton is there.
Mitch Jacobs
Mitch
was there as well.
is there. Thank you.
Yeah, both these Trailblazers, Tyler Heaton getting the push from up the middle, and then Mitch Jacobs coming off the left end, bringing him down for a gain of basically nothing. No gainer on that one.
4:40 to go until halftime. Dixie State will receive the second half kickoff. You'd love to see the Trailblazers be able to get out of this one unscathed, and Eben is going down, sacked in the backfield. Malaki is there to help make the stop. Alex Lilliard is there to help make the stop, and they ran Harfum in motion. They faked the jet sweep toss to him, and that play went nowhere.
Yeah, you see Lilliard comes on a blitz, kind of as a stunt there as he comes to the right side of the formation and then doubles back to come in back into the A-gap and bring down Chance Eben, and a big sack to force 3rd down and 17.
A loss of 7. 3rd and 17 back to the 35-yard line. Eben will lob it across the middle, and it is incomplete. Cajun Smith-Begrevich was in the neighborhood, made a diving attempt at an interception, could not get it, and that will force 4th down and long, and it's going to be a punting situation with the ball out to the 35-yard line. As you're looking at a 52-yard field goal from this point, so they're going to try the field goal. They're set up for a field goal. That's not the field goal kicker, though. That's Jacob Parks, the punter and the kickoff kicker. They figure he's got the stronger foot. They're going to attempt this one from 52 yards out, right hash. The hold. The kick is a low line drive kick, and it bounces off the crossbar, and no good. It looked like it might have gone through. It hit the crossbar and skipped left. No good.
How in the world did that not go in?
That's what Black Hill State is saying.
It bounced forward. How did it bounced onto the track? How did that? I mean, I'm no physics major or anything, but this one you see is it was a low liner, kind of a left to right spinner.
And we've got the super slow-mo going on the replay. The ball is going to hit the crossbar. Oh my goodness, that went in.
That one went in. That one was
that went
good.
in.
I'm not sure
if that's the only look at that play, guys, back in the truck. Do you have a look at that maybe from the camera a little closer?
Or maybe a back from behind the play? Because that one definitely went in. That was a missed call.
Here we go.
Timeout.
They're going to take an official timeout and look at it again. Let's run that again, guys. I don't know if that's the only look you have at it, but here we go. This is going to be an even better look. Ball is going to hit the crossbar, and that's in.
That's in.
That went through.
It had to be because the ball bounced away from the playing surface. The ball bounced away from the playing surface. The only way that it could have done that is if it bounced and went forward.
And that's why we were so shocked on the call. Here we go. I hope they get this right. Our official, John Saborov, is going to make the call if he can get the mic working to his liking.
After discussion on the field, the determination was made that the ball did in fact go through the uprights.
Good call.
The field goal is successful.
Yeah, and that's the right call.
That's the right call, absolutely.
That's the absolute right call. And, you know, it's tough. I'm not sure how you missed that one.
Yeah,
those referees are right underneath those poles.
Yeah, and like you said, just in terms of the way the ball moved, the direction the ball moved after it hit the crossbar. It did not hit and fall down. It hit and went forward. Coach Peterson is asking for an explanation, but you know, when he sees the replay later and when he gets the explanation from the official, he's gonna understand that was a successful try. Jacob Parks hits a 52-yard field goal, and the lead is trimmed to 17-6.
And that one, like you said, going back to that, there's no excess on that crossbar. There's no excess space off the left or off either side of the uprights. So there's no way it could have bounced on maybe an excess part that bounced forward where it didn't go between the uprights. And so I'm glad they got the call right. Obviously, it doesn't go the Trailblazers' way, but certainly a call that you're glad to have them to get it right and discuss it. And that's really what it's all about, is getting the calls right.
Absolutely. I mean, I don't care who the team is. If there's a call like that, and we would have been helpless. I mean, or we wouldn't be able to do anything about it up here. If they would have got together and discussed that no, it didn't go through, we don't have official replay at this level. Next year at the D1 FCS level, we'll have official replay. But at this level right now, we don't have replay. We couldn't have said, hey, come look at this replay. And good for the officials to get together and discuss and make that call and get it right. And it's 17-6. A 52-yard field goal for Jacob Parks. Doesn't matter how it goes through as long as it goes through. And here's the ensuing kickoff, and that ball is going to hook out of bounds. He says, I used all my leg to make that 52-yard field goal, and he kicks that one out of bounds at the 20-yard line. The Trailblazers have it at the 35.
Yeah, that's going to be an illegal kick, and the Trailblazers will get it at the 35-yard line. Good break for Dixie State coming off that field goal from Black Hills State.
The Trailblazers are going to come back out onto the field. Cody Wilstead still is your Trailblazer quarterback. And just assuming, and we don't have any official line of communication about this, just assuming how it looked after, I don't think we're going to see Keaton Mott again today, Drayson.
Yeah, it'll be tough. I mean, especially when you got a quality backup. I don't want to say backup. That's kind of a
They've been splitting time anyway. When they're both available, they've been splitting time.
Yeah, and you got a good one back there. No need to rush it.
On first down, a give to Darman Natoa, and he'll steam through that line for a pickup of 1. Clock rolling, 3:40 to go. Ball will be out to the 36-yard line of Dixie State now. Again, the Trailblazers will receive the second half kickoff. So you're in a spot right now, Drayson. If you can be successful on this drive and put some points on the board, you're getting the ball to start in the second half as well.
Plenty of time left, 2 timeouts, and over 3 minutes left for the Trailblazers on this offensive possession.
Wilstead will find Jalen Powell. He makes his first catch of the game, and he is out across the marker at the 45 to the 46-yard line. A pickup of 10 from Cody Wilstead to Jalen Powell.
And we've seen this connection all season long. Cody Wilstead to Jalen Powell. They've developed a really good chemistry between the two. As you see, Jalen brings it in. and carries the extra load to get the enough yards necessary for the first down.
Wilstead on first down will load up, fires downfield. Ross Turner is there, and he can't make the catch. Just out of the outstretched hands of Ross Turner off his fingertips. I think with a flag down, we're going to have a hold against Dixie State. Wouldn't have mattered.
Yeah, unfortunately, this one is going to be called back for a holding.
It's going to be a deep Jowney.
10-yard penalty. Replay, first down.
But this one was a pretty good pass by Cody Wilstead. Led him just a little bit closer to the sideline. You rather see this one be a little bit more into the center of the field, but this one made him drift to the sideline and not able to bring it in. Obviously wouldn't have mattered with the holding call. Now the Trailblazers are backed up 1st and 20.
2:58 remaining until halftime. Dixie State will get to play the first down over again, but now you've got 20 yards to go. Fake a handoff around the left end, swing it to the left side, and Casey Allison. Allison makes the catch, still on his feet across the 50, angling to the 40, 35, 30, foot race 20, and is tackled inside the 20 to the 15-yard line by the Yellow Jackets. First down and 10 for Dixie State in to the True by Hilton red zone. A Black Hill State player injured down behind the play at the Dixie State 40-yard line, and the referees will call an injury timeout.
And this was a play set up to maybe get 10 or 15 yards, but Casey Allison had other ideas. A screen pass that goes off to the left that Casey Allison gets upfield and cuts back all the way back to the right sideline. A huge gainer on a 1st and 20. If you're the Yellow Jackets, you're kicking yourself right now. You had the Trailblazers backed up, but a good play made by Casey Allison on just a little screen pass. Ball didn't travel downfield, maybe only a yard or two, and he turns that one into a huge gain.
There's a lot going on that play as well, as you had a man in motion and you faked a handoff to try to throw some misdirection in there and try to get the defense back on its heels, and then you make the swing pass. I mean, and then he goes, like you said, from left to right all the way across the field, and that injured player that leaves the game for Black Hill State is one of their leading tacklers in Bailey Rosenstraw, one of the leaders, Drayson, in that secondary.
Yeah, that's a tough blow for the Yellow Jackets to see if he's not able to return. Bailey Rosenstraw right now 2nd on the team coming into today's game with 36 total tackles, 2 tackles for loss, and a sack. It'll be a tough loss for them.
Pistol formation, Darman Natoa lined up behind Wilstead. They give to Darman, and he will charge forward straight ahead, and he'll pick up 4 yards. 2nd down and 6 upcoming inside the True by Hilton red zone. Ball will be marked at the 12.
Yeah, powerful run here by Darman and Toas. He just puts his head down, keeps the feet churning. He always seems to fall forward. He's a very downhill. You hear it a lot. He runs downhill a lot. That's what he likes to do.
Chase Hess and Devin Osborne in the game right now. Look for either of those two to be a target. Wilstead forced out of the pocket. He's going to run. 10, 5, touchdown, Cody Wilstead. His first rushing touchdown of the season, and the Trailblazers find the end zone once again.
Yeah, great vision by Wilstead to see that he's got all of his receivers covered downfield as he stepped up into the pocket. Notice he had some room to run, but he did not have a completely free lane to the end zone. He had to make a few guys miss. You see here looking to his left, realizes his guys are covered. He senses the pressure behind him, steps up, and then realizes, hey, I'm going to take off and I can maybe get into the end zone, and he does just that.
James Baird on for the PAT. The snap, the hold, the kick is up, and it is through. Dixie State 24, Black Hill State 6. The only thing I'd say about that run, Drayson, bring that ball inside. Don't fumble that football. Great run by Cody Wilstead. 2:02 to go until halftime. Dixie State 24, Black Hill State 6. We'll take a 30-second timeout, just a 30. Come right back on the Trailblazer Football Network.
I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat apples and bananas?
Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
Welcome back inside the broadcast. Beautiful look on the TV side of the north end of Dixie State University's Trailblazer Stadium. Again, this is Sark-Arslanian Field at Trailblazer Stadium, one of the Dixie State football greats. And big shout out to our CEC TV crew for all they do to help bring these top-notch broadcasts, and a fair catch made by Isaac Jefferson on the kickoff, and Black Hills State will take over at its own 25-yard line for Dixie State. On that last drive, they go a 12-yard run from Cody Wilstead to cap the 5-play, 65-yard drive, 24-6, Trailblazers lead it.
And just like we talked about on the pregame show, Trailblazers getting outscored in first halves of games. They flipped the script in this one early on, scoring 24 first half points compared to just allowing 6 points for Black Hills State. Got off to a speedy start. One of our keys to the game. They've done a good job so far in this first half.
On a first down, Eben. Screen pass out of the backfield is caught by Susel. And he is free across the 35 to the 40 and banged out of bounds by Ty Hill and company back there. Looked like a broken play that Eben was able to find Susel, and then the Trailblazers couldn't find Susel and had a hard time bringing him down.
Yeah, they're not sure if it was a design screen. That's kind of what it turned out to be. It looks like it is just a design screen to get Susel out there in space, and a good block there by one of his offensive linemen to help get this run, get this screen pass moving up close to near midfield at the 45-yard line.
1:48 to go.
Will the game clock operator please put 1:53 on the game clock?
They're going to put 5 more seconds on the game clock. Currently standing at 1:48 now. They want 5 more seconds up to 1:53. We'll take this time as it gets out to 1:53 to remind you that coming up here in just a few minutes, Seven Oak Jewelers halftime report. Drayson and I will break down the first half numbers. Those brought to you by Rock Canyon Bank. Also sponsoring our By the Numbers feature and our Trailblazer Weekly Show. Eben on first down will sling it to the near sideline, and that is incomplete. Isaac Jefferson trying to make that catch, flagged down in the backfield, and where that's sitting, Drayson, you're only thinking late hit.
Yeah, that's gonna be roughing the passer. That hit came after the pass was thrown. It's gonna be roughing the passer. Looks like to me.
Personal foul. Number 96 of the defense.
Tariq Wright.
15-yard. First down.
Those are the plays you have to avoid if you're the Trailblazers. This one was thrown incomplete passes. Tariq Wright, you see there coming from the middle of the formation, and that one's, I don't love that one. There was no intent to drive him to the ground. He just bumped into him and happened to fall over.
Here we go. Black Hills State into Dixie State territory, and you're going to get an incomplete pass and a flag for a horse collar.
Yeah, you're going to get a horse collar tackle as well.
I mean, it's Mitch Jacobs, and he tried to hold up, but he grabbed Eben right by the. I mean, that's textbook.
Yep.
Did not throw him to the ground, but well, he did throw him to the ground. I thought he let go. Either way, I was.
Personal foul. Horse collar tackle. Number 44 of the defense. 15 yards from the previous spot, automatic. First down.
So you got a late hit and a horse collar tackle, and that's 30 yards for Black Hills State. Now they're down to the Dixie State 25-yard line. Coach Peterson has got to be furious right now, thinking about where you could be. It's 1:40 to go until halftime. You get a stop. You get into the locker room with a 24-6 lead. You get the ball to start the second half. Instead, now the defense has got to step it up to try to keep the Yellow Jackets out of the end zone. Eben on first down. Slant route caught by Jefferson. Free. 10-5, gets to the pylon, and it is going to be a touchdown.
Yeah, Jefferson does a good job once he gets into space here. The defender, the cornerback in coverage, went for the interception, was just a little bit late breaking on that ball. That's what allowed Jefferson to bring this one in and have a lot of green grass ahead of him to run. As you see there in coverage, that's Devin Chandler. He goes for the interception, not able to bring it in. And then, of course, Jefferson just powers his way into the end zone, dives over a defender there to get into the pylon as they cut into this lead now 24-12.
The PAT is up, and it is good. With 1:32 to go until halftime, Dixie State leading 24-13. You hate to see it. Penalties leading to touchdowns and extra opportunities. 60-second timeout and back on the Trailblazer Football Network.
Radio Dixie 91.3. We don't play that. Nope, not that. A big fat no there. That's what we play. And stuff like that. On St. George's only alternative, Radio Dixie 91.3. Oh, and from 9 till midnight, we play this.
I need a one dance.
And this. Radio Dixie 91.3 FM.
Welcome back to Trailblazer Stadium. This kickoff high and far, 5 yards deep into the Dixie State end zone. And Xavier Smith will catch it, kneel on it. Dixie State will start at its own 25-yard line with 1:32 to go until halftime. Jason, we mentioned it before the break. Coach Peterson can't be happy. We've heard him mention on our show, other shows here in the local media, and talking to the newspaper reporters, look, we can't continue to have penalties extend drives and lead directly to scores. So that's exactly what happened there. A late hit and then followed by a horse collar tackle on a play where you had the quarterback dead in the rights, and he was just getting rid of it. You just can't have those type of penalties, and it leads directly to a Black Hills State touchdown.
Yeah, I mean, 30 yards, that's a huge chunk of the field, especially considering where they started that drive, which was around the 30-yard line. That put them in prime position to get into Dixie State territory and set up a short little pitch and catch to Isaac Jefferson for the touchdown. Hopefully the Trailblazers can recover nicely.
Wilstead will load up, fires across the middle. Jalen Powell makes the catch at midfield, still on his feet, and then tackled across the 45 down to the Black Hills State 42-yard line. A big gainer across midfield, and now Dixie State is in business.
I told you Keaton Mott loves to find Jalen Powell. It's his favorite receiver by far. Powell does a good job of getting between two defenders in the secondary, and Josh Kernaby brings him down inside Yellow Jacket territory.
The great throw by Cody Wilstead. On a first down again, Wilstead will zing it out of the backfield to Darman Natoa. He tried to plant and cut and slipped, fell to the turf just shy of the 35-yard line at the 36. A pickup of 5 on a first down. Clock under a minute to go. Dixie State on 2nd and 4, going to hustle back up to the line with the clock rolling. Have 2 timeouts at their disposal. Snap to Wilstead. Looking. Lob it out of the backfield again. Natoa with blockers. He's across the 30, picks up the first down. He's inside the 30 to the 28-yard line, a pickup of 8. Clock will stop momentarily as Dixie State gets back up to the line.
Trailblazers have been able to use this screen effectively at times. They ran this 2 or 3 times throughout the first half. As you see there, Notoa does a good job following his blockers. Once again, I sound like a broken record every time I say it, but he does a good job of doing that as we get a timeout now.
Clock rolling and now whistles. And what do we have? No flags on the play. Dixie State was set and ready to start the play, and then the referees ran in. And now we're still held up here. And now here we go. With 37.3 seconds remaining, the clock will begin to roll again. Dixie State still with 2 timeouts. Snap to Wilstead. Looking. Fires across the middle. Threw it behind Jalen Powell. Could not make the catch. And Wilstead is probably lucky that Xavier Bonham did not make that tip drill interception. Should say for Cody Wilstead, his first incompletion of the day. He now stands at 5 for 6.
Yeah, this one just thrown a little bit behind Jalen Powell. He would have had enough room to gain first down yardage. Is just not able to bring that one in. Love to see Wilstead lead him a little bit better to give him enough space to run that one in and get the first down.
2nd down and 10 from the 28. Wilstead will lob to the end zone. Man is there. Casey Allison diving catch in the end zone. Gets the foot down. 28-yard pitch and catch from Cody Wilstead to Casey Allison, and the Trailblazers answer the Black Hills State touchdown with one of its own.
And Cody Wilstead right now is in a zone. I'm not sure I've seen him yet into this season. Just says, hey, Casey, go to the back pylon. I'll throw this one there. Just lobs it up beautifully. Gets a nice arc on it, as you see there, right near the back pylon. Casey Allison jumps, brings that one in, and gets his feet down to bring that one in for the touchdown. What a pitch and catch from Wilstead to Allison.
And that's Allison's first touchdown catch of the year. The snap, the kick is up and good. Dixie State says, we let you in the end zone. We gave you that one. We're going to answer right back. 31-13, Dixie State leading it with 23 seconds remaining. Let's take a 30-second timeout and come right back on the Trailblazer Football Network.
One in 3 adults has pre-diabetes. That means it could be you, your favorite brother, your other brother, you, your football buddy, your football buddy, you, your plumber,
Breathe right into your foot.
your plumber's masseuse,
Yes.
you, your dog walker, your cat jogger. With early diagnosis, pre-diabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Welcome back inside Trailblazers Stadium. Well, after giving up a touchdown, the Trailblazers wasted no time. 5 plays, 75 yards, 1:08 off the clock to get that touchdown back. Trailblazers lead 31-13 with 23 seconds until halftime.
And man, this offense has just been clicking today. This is the offense we thought we'd see all season long. I'm loving that we're getting a chance to see what it can really do so far today.
And a squib kick will be fielded by Isaac Jefferson at the 30. Wriggles out of a tackle, still on his feet, and is forced out of bounds just across the 30-yard line. After I said he was at the 30, he did a lot of running, but it was east and west, Drayson. Didn't really go anywhere else, and gets to the 31-yard line. That's where Black Hills State will take over with 17 seconds until halftime.
And like I mentioned, it's really good to see this Trailblazer offense get really rolling. As Coach Peterson has said numerous times on our Trailblazer Weekly program, this offense is ready to launch, and they did just that, getting down the field in just a couple of plays, going nearly the length of the field after the touchdown they allowed on Black
How
Hills
about
State.
Wilstead just coming in? He's a cool 7 for 8, 160 yards and 2 touchdowns since entering this game. Snap to Eben. Pressure comes, and he lobs it down the field, and it is caught.
That was a good catch
by Kyler Harfum. That was not even intended for Harfum. He sailed it over Jefferson, the intended receiver, and it fell into the hands of Harfum.
And this
You
is,
can't tell me he's not throwing that ball.
Oh, yeah, that was
to
definitely
Jefferson.
intended for Jefferson. Harfum was just right there.
Right
Good
place,
job.
right time. And now they're going to spike it to stop the clock with 11 seconds to play. Why do you spike it with 2 timeouts? Maybe trying to save the timeout if you need to set up a possible field goal attempt.
With only 11 seconds left, you're probably not going to have enough time to run 3 plays to either call 2 timeouts plus the field goal.
So it's 2nd down and 10 after the spike. Eben from the shotgun. Forced out of the pocket, he's going to run. He's free across the 40 and brought down by Connor McKay, just shy of the marker, and Black Hills State will take a timeout with 4.3 seconds to go. Needed the 36-yard line for the marker, got to the 37, a gain of 9 for Chance Eben.
And normally I would say this is not great for the Trailblazers to allow this, but in this situation with the clock and score, not necessarily the score, but the clock management right here, if he runs that, I mean, you can give him 10 or 15 yards before they're really in field goal range, and that all it does is keep the clock moving, forces them to use another timeout. With only 4 seconds left, they're not going to have enough time to run 2 plays to get run another play to get into field goal range. They're just going to have to throw a Hail Mary to the end zone.
Well, I'll tell you a quick Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference update for you. We'll give you all the scores at halftime, but this conference kind of shocks you week by week, Drayson. In Rapid City, Dixie State went to Rapid City last week, got a 28-16 win over the Hard Rockers. At halftime, it's a defensive touchdown for number 18 CSU Pueblo to take a 7-6 lead at the half over South Dakota Mines. It was a 69-yard pick 6. We'll go over all of those scores. Oh my goodness. Black Hills State they're going to kick a field goal out of the timeout. A 55-yard field goal out of the timeout for Chance Parks. Almost center of the field. This is the first field goal I've ever seen attempted off of the Dixie State logo, and the Trailblazers are going to call a timeout.
I'm wondering if they're calling this timeout to send. I'm wondering if, honestly, they're going to send a receiver back to almost like a punt return to see if they can get a receiver underneath the goal.
You saw the defensive point after.
Right.
Last week.
Right. But I mean, this is unbelievably long. I mean, he was good from 52, and I'm not sure he kicked that ball the way that he wanted to. It was
he didn't kick the ball. He's got a good. You see the way he kicks it on kickoff. He's got the leg. He can leg out this kick. The question is, can he be accurate enough? But if he kicks an end-over-end kick the way he kicked the 52-yard attempt, that won't hit crossbar, and they're going to send Xavier Smith back.
Yeah, see,
you are exactly right.
Yeah, I was wondering,
Mr. Smarty Pants.
Well, it's not my first rodeo. I've been around the game a few years in my day, but this would be an interesting situation because we've seen a lot of times these plays, the offensive linemen, the blockers are not necessarily designed to prevent a return on these plays, so it'll be interesting to see how this one turns out.
55-yard attempt for Parks, and it is up, and it is short, and Xavier Smith's going to make a one-handed catch, but he falls out of bounds. You can't tell me he didn't want to return that one. He bangs into the upright, and into the goalpost.
Short by maybe a yard is all, maybe 2 yards is all. Really, it was online too. It would have been good. It was a good effort from the kicker there, but just did not have quite enough leg on that one.
Trailblazers are going to take a 31-13 lead into the break. A good kick that just barely missed the crossbar. How about that one-hand catch?
That's 2 feet maybe.
By Xavier Smith.
I said a yard or two. That's maybe a foot or two is all.
Good news is that you can see for you TV and internet viewers, you can see in the back of that picture, Keaton Mott is walking around on his own power. Doesn't look to have much of a limp to him, but we'll find out a little bit more about him after this football game. At this point in the game, you're not going away from Cody Wilstead. Drayson, a 31-13 lead at the half. What's impressing you most about this Dixie State squad?
Well, golly, it's hard to pick one necessarily, but I was really impressed by Keaton Mott earlier in the game. It's hard to say that Cody Wilson has been more impressive because Keaton Mott certainly got the game off to a good start. 2 touchdowns to Chase Hess and to Blake Kilgore, the tight ends. But then Cody Wilson came in and has done a really nice job of being kind of put into a pinch. Just had the one incompletion. He's ran for a touchdown, through the great pass to Casey Allison in the back of the end zone. So between the two of the quarterbacks, a really solid offense for the Trailblazers in the first half. That was one of the keys coming into the game, get off to a speedy start. Now the question is, we've talked about it in the series history. This series has been decided by coming back after getting an early lead. We'll hope the Trailblazers can maintain this lead throughout the second half.
Can't tell you this. Dixie State has more yards of total offense. Almost, not quite. I was going to say than last week. They were up over 400 last week. But 387 yards of total offense for the Trailblazers on 39 plays to 211 yards of total offense for Black Hills State. And we'll break these numbers down in our Seven Oaks Jewelers halftime report, but just wanted to get those quick hitter thoughts. We talked about the speedy start. They were a little slow on giving up that field goal, but then coming down immediately getting points to match that was Dixie State's speedy start. And then you score 31 first half points, the most points you scored in the first half all season long. It's exactly what Coach Peterson has wanted to see this Trailblazer offense do. You can look at the other keys to the game if we revisit those before the break. The quality and keys to the game. The first one was contain Kyler. As you look at Kyler Harpham and see what he's done, he's got 5 catches for 58 yards. Rushing. He's got 3 rushes for 10 yards, so he's got 68 yards of all-purpose yards today, Drayson, and maybe a little bit more than you would like to see him, so you can work on that, try to adjust in the second half. They forced them to go away from other players, though. The second one was Chase Chance, as we had to switch that from our terrorized Tovar. Chase Chance, he's 10 for 18, 138 yards and a score. That was a catch and run score, and where a lot of those yards were racked up as well. I think Dixie State has done a pretty good job of disrupting Chance Eben in the backfield and making him go away from his first and second look and make decisions on the run.
They have supplied a lot of pressure, that defensive line. Alex Lilliard has been a good job in that, from that linebacking core, coming on a few late blitzes and some stunts as well to put some pressure on Chance Eben. I think they've done a really good job of forcing him into some early throws. We saw a few attempts early in the game where he was starting to get into a rhythm, but into that second quarter, the Trailblazers were really putting a lot of pressure on him, forcing him out of the pocket, forcing him to throw throws before he was ready. And obviously with that, you have inaccuracies, some low passes, some overthrows and things like that. They've done a really good job of containing him and putting pressure on him to force him to make plays with his arm. He's done a pretty good job of that so far, but I like the defensive effort for Dixie State. And then going back to Kyler Harpham, like you mentioned, 5 catches for 58 yards. Not bad. He has not scored a touchdown so far, but he has been used in a versatile, a variety of different ways on the offense. We've seen him go from the Wildcat. We've seen him run screen passes. We've seen him catch balls downfield, just like we talked about in the pregame show. And I think if you look at that, you can live with those plays as long as he's not creating the huge play. They have gone to him a lot on third downs, and he's been able to pick up that first down yardage on those third down plays. But I think if you can avoid the huge play to really spark their offense, they'll live with the yards for Kyler Harpham, as long as there's not going to multiple different receivers and backs.
Let's do this. We're trying something a little different. We're going to take our full extended halftime break, but let's take a look at the highlights. Let's take a look at some first half highlights. We've got some of those for you. And then when we get back from break, we'll look at the stats. Early on, it was Keaton Mott hooking up with a tight end, Chase Hess. He threw 2 completions to him on that drive. Keaton Mott, the unfortunate thing about Mott is you see the hurdle play there. He was doing things with his feet as well. Wilstead hasn't had to do that yet. You hated to see Mott have to leave the game. And here's the touchdown pass, stepping up, finding Chase Hess, making the catch. This, I think, is still one of our leading candidates, Drayson, for a Honolulu Grill play of the game.
Yeah, he was just tremendous. He would not be denied on his way to the end zone as he gets to that pylon off of a good pitch and catch from Keaton Mott. And that was really one of the things that sparked that offensive drive in the first half. And then obviously Cody Wilstead there to Blake Kilgore as he gets into the end zone on a seam route. This was the defensive play by the Trailblazers, like I mentioned. Alex Lilliard putting pressure on Chance Eben, and then of course Cody Wilstead. This is the one that found Kesey Allison as he starts on a little screen pass on the left side of the formation, makes a few guys miss, cuts it all the way back to the right sideline, sets the Trailblazers up inside the red zone as he gets all the way to the 15-yard line. It was a tremendous run, and then obviously this one, of course, here was the pass, or excuse me, this was the run by Cody Wilstead as he scampers for the 12-yard touchdown, avoiding guys all the way into the end zone.
Dixie State a 31-13 lead. Here was the Black Hills State touchdown. It was Jefferson evading a defender and able to get into the end zone. But of course, Dixie State was not done. They marched right back down the field, and Allison, this ball on the money Wilstead, this pass on the money for Allison to go up and make the catch, his first touchdown catch of the year. You can kind of see it right there on the replays, like kind of that monkey off the back. Okay, I got into the end zone once this season, and now we're good to go. Dixie State 31, Black Hills State 13 at the half. Now let's step away. We'll take our extended 5-minute, a full 5-minute halftime break. When we come back, we finish our Seven Oaks Jewelers halftime report. We break down the Rock Canyon Bank stats, all the numbers, and get you set for second half action. 31-13, Dixie State leading it. 5-minute timeout and back on the Trailblazer Football Network.
There is a place where rocks bleed and nature blushes on a battlefield green with envy, where dimples determine destiny and a tiny wooden teeth holds the outcome in the balance. There is a place where friends are opponents and opponents are friends, where the prize is elusive, the conquest is captivating, and the score isn't settled till the drinks are down. There is a place.
When you adopt a shelter pet, you discover all the things that make them unique.
And your mother.
They're a little bit of a lot of things, but they're all pure love.
Give your town a reason to celebrate, because every Goodwill item you bring home brings job training and more to your community. Goodwill, bring good home.
Where do you find the titans of classical music in St. George? Classical music on Radio St. George, 100.3 FM. Where do you find the legends of jazz? Evenings on Radio St. George 100.3 FM.
1 in 3 adults has pre-diabetes. That means it could be you, your dog walker,
On your left.
your cat jogger. With early diagnosis, pre-diabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
I know kids worry about a lot of things. Getting enough food to eat shouldn't be one of them. Through a nationwide network of food banks, Feeding America serves virtually every community in the United States. See how you can help your community. Visit feedingamerica.org.
There is a place where young and old make connections, where kids feel like grown-ups, and grown-ups feel like kids. There is a place where beauty arises in contrast, where wonder is universal, and laughter second nature. There is a place where friends find a future, families find each other, and feelings find their home. There is a place.
Hey, Kevin, you thinking about retirement?
I'd love to, but I'm pretty busy with all this.
Yeah. Hey, let's meet our retirement coach, Avo. A is for taking action.
Not anxiety?
No, Kevin, you're gonna be fine.
You sing?
Barely. V is for variety.
And you dance?
Sort of. Come on. O is for optimize your savings.
Let Avo lead the way.
Visit aceyourretirement.org today.
Nice.
Thanks.
For over a century, Dixie State University has been shaping the trailblazers of tomorrow by providing a culture of active learning, active life. With a paradigm of real-world experience mixed with cutting-edge technologies and rich traditions, we provide one of the most affordable educations in the West set against the most stunning backdrop on the planet.
We scored going to the playoffs. I can't believe I missed that. Every time I'm buzzed, I spend too much time on my phone.
What? I should take your phone away.
No. I'll call for a ride. Wait, why does my face look like that?
I'm playing with these new face filters.
Okay, you know what? Yep, that's mine. But I need that back. No. Kevin!
There is a place where the desert comes alive, where rain breaks forth from solid stone and gardens spring from blistered rock. There is a place with enough color to make a rainbow jealous, where boulders are bigger than buildings and cliffs are higher than clouds. There is a place that will straighten your step, tighten your grip, widen your eyes, and open your jaw. There is a place.
Honorary Forest Ranger Betty White here, lending a hand to my dear friend Smokey Bear. Because for 75 years, he's only said,
Only you can prevent wildfires.
but there's a lot more to say. Like if you park your car on tall
Welcome back
dry
inside the
grass,
broadcast booth at
hot
Trailblazer
exhaust
Stadium,
pipe can
Dixie State.
start a
Great
wildfire.
first half. The best,
So
at least
keep the animals
scoring-wise,
safe,
first half the
especially the
Trailblazers
cute
have had
shirtless one.
so far this
Go to
season, and probably the most
SmokeyBear.com to learn more
offensive
about
output in terms of total yardage, as we welcome you back inside the TV side as well. Radio break getting back a little sooner than the TV break. Carrick Segmel, Drayson Ball with you on the Trailblazer Football Network, and it's a 31-13 lead for the Trailblazers after 2 quarters of play, and it is time for the Seven Oaks Jewelers halftime report. We've already looked at the first half highlights. We've already kind of broken down and revisited our keys to the game, Drayson. What's left to do now is to dive a little bit deeper into these numbers, brought to you by Rock Canyon Bank, who mentioned it before the break. The Trailblazers, 387 yards of total offense on 39 plays in the first half. 44 plays and 211 yards of total offense for Black Hills State. What else jumps out at you when you look at this halftime stat sheet, more than just the total yardage, more than the first downs necessarily? What jumps out at you when you look at this first half stat sheet?
Yeah, it's the passing yards. It's the quarterback play between Keaton Mott and Cody Wilstead. They've played very, very well. 19 of 23 combined for 297 yards of total passing offense. This was a defense coming into the game. The Black Hills passing defense was one of their better areas of of their team, allowing just 223 passing yards per game. They have surrendered 11 touchdowns, and they've nabbed 2 interceptions. But I think the quarterback play has really been the key. The Trailblazers struggled early on to get the run game going. It's come along a little bit since, but not really what you'd like it to be, with just 90 total yards of rushing. A lot of that came on the Keaton Mott scramble, the 12-yard run from Cody Wilstead, but not a huge lot of yards from your running back core. But for me, it's been the quarterback play and the tremendous, from Keaton Mott and Cody Wilstead. Both of them have looked really, really good today.
Yeah, Trailblazers 31-13 at the half, and you hit the nail on the head. And you hate to see somebody go out. I was saying this during the highlights, and you hated to see Keaton Mott have to leave the game, the way he did, because he was having one of his better games this season. It was 12 of 15 through the air, 137 yards as a touchdown, 4 rushes for 30 yards. Averaging 7.5 yards of carry on that RPO on the run-pass option. And then to get hurt the way he did after scrambling for a first down was just, super unfortunate. And then Cody Wilstead comes into the game, and he says, look, I've got you, brother. We're not going to see any drop-off. We're not going to see it. And it's like we mentioned, it's not really a starter-backup situation right now. When both of these quarterbacks have been available, they've been splitting time. They've been splitting series and reps in the games anyway. But Cody Wilstead was ready to come into this game. He couldn't play last week. He was a little banged up, and what you saw was somebody that hated to miss that game last week, that was not able to make that trip, not able to help his team in the way he wanted to, and he has been on the money, like you said. 7 of 8, 160 yards, 2 touchdowns. He's even got a 12-yard rush, a rushing touchdown to his name. So you're looking, he's thrown for 2 touchdowns, only 1 incompletion. He's rushed for a touchdown, and he's done everything to help this football team continue to build this lead. The defense has been, just as good. They've given up the 2 field goal drives, and then at the end you commit 2 penalties. I think that's where the thing that you go back and you could look at for the defense in the first half and say, look, guys, be aggressive, but we can't hit the quarterback after the play, and we can't be doing horse collar type stuff. Otherwise you're looking at a 31-6 ball game at halftime, and it's 31-13. So the 1 touchdown, at this point doesn't seem to be making a huge difference, but you want to see your defense do as good as you can. Without those penalties, you're holding Black Hills State probably to around 150 yards of total offense and no touchdowns. And so that's the thing. For the Trailblazers, if you can go out, if you can hold a team under 300 yards of total offense for a game, you're doing a lot right. And if the Trailblazers can duplicate the effort that they had in the first half, it's going to be tough to keep them under 300, but they can keep it pretty close.
Yeah, 7 penalties for 79 yards for the Trailblazers compared to just 3 penalties for 38 yards for Black Hills State. Where the Trailblazers have made up the penalty yards that they've lost is on third down efficiency. Right now, the Trailblazers, not a whole lot of third down attempts. They've been moving the ball well on first and second down, but right now 4 of 6 on third down conversions. We talked about this on the tell of the tape on our pregame show. Right now, Black Hills State just 6 of 11. That's a little better than 50%, so a pretty good conversion rate for them. But the Trailblazers doing a superb job at 4 of 6 on third down conversions. Time of possession right now is favored slightly to Black Hills State, 16.5 minutes to 13.5 minutes for Dixie State. But they, scored on those last 2 possessions. To end the second half, they scored on, a 3-minute drive and then a 1-minute drive. So that's
let's look through the scoring summary. Dixie State, these are all their scoring drives. Field goals, touchdowns. You've got 2 minutes, 27 seconds, 1 minute, 47 seconds, 3:43, 1:49, and 1:08. The longest scoring drive was the 9-play, 71-yard drive, 3:43 off the clock to make it 17-3.
So yes, you are losing the time of possession battle, but
because you're scoring.
But that only matters if you're not moving the ball. If you're losing the time of possession and you're not scoring or you're not moving the ball, that's where that really comes into play. And the Trailblazers are moving the ball, something we saw them not doing so efficiently at the start of the season. They were getting 3 and outs very, very quickly. 1 or 2 minutes is all, maybe even less than that coming off of the clock. But today, they are moving the ball efficiently, they're scoring, and they're doing it at a quick pace, just like Coach Paul Peterson said they were going to do. And when you do that, the time of possession kind of goes out the window if you're scoring quickly.
Halftime break is almost over. Let's give you a Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference update. We take a quick look around the conference and take a look at some other scores. There's one team not playing. New Mexico Highlands is not playing a non-conference game today, so just 5 games in the conference today. How about this? Fort Lewis leading Adams State 28-9 at the half. What that is a team that says we should have won last week, and we're going to take it out on Adams State. 28-9 early fourth quarter for Fort Lewis over Adams State. Colorado School of Mines 42-14 over Colorado Mesa in Grand Junction at the half. That is the number 13th ranked team in the country in Colorado School of Mines. And how about now into the third quarter? South Dakota Mines taking a 13-7 lead over CSU Pueblo with 14-12 to go in the third quarter. That would be the Hard Rockers' first conference win of the year if they're able to hold on there. And then in Gunnison, Colorado, Western Colorado 27-12 over Chadron State. Drayson, I'm telling you, below Colorado School of Mines, really, because Pueblo, depending on what happens with that Pueblo game, I mean, this could be anybody's conference this year. Under below Colorado School of Mines, and if you can try to knock them off, I mean, everyone else is just beating up on everybody else. Dixie State 31-13 at the half. That'll do it for our Seven Oaks Jewelers halftime report. 30-second timeout, just a 30, and we'll be back with second half action on the Trailblazer Football Network.
There is a place where looking out means looking in, where an impression lasting only a few seconds will be imprinted on a life forever, where courage is forged and innocence rediscovered, where remembering is rewarding and forgetting unforgettable. There is a place where truth is felt and where seeing is believing. There is a place.
And welcome back to Trailblazers Stadium. Drayson Ball, Carrick Segmiller with you on a beautiful Saturday afternoon. The Trailblazers a 31-13 lead at the half. And the Trailblazers will receive the second half kickoff. Back deep to receive for the Trailblazers is Xavier Smith, and Darman Natoa is back with Xavier as well. And Jacob Parks, who almost hit a 55-yard field goal just before the halftime break, will get set to put a foot into this one. And he'll probably kick this one farther than he kicked his field goal attempt. A little different kicking off the tee. And he's going to bomb this one. Almost out of the end zone. And Smith drops the football in the end zone and was taking his time to get over to it. That was a live ball until he got back on it and knelt on it, gets to it, kneels on it. How would that be?
Yeah, that'd be
disaster to fumble in the end zone and have Black Hill State recover, but he gets back to it, kneels it. Dixie State will start at the 25-yard line.
The Trailblazers coming out. This is a situation where we talked about, again, in the pregame show, I referenced it a lot, but we talked about how the Trailblazers in this series have had games where the other team has got out to a lead, or they've got out to a lead, and the other team has come back in those games. We'll see if the Trailblazers on their first possession can extend their lead and not let the Black Hills State Yellow Jackets get any hope in getting back into this game.
On a first down, play action. Wilstead going to roll out to his right, looking, fires across the middle. Casey Allison is there, makes the catch, moves across the 40-yard line, and is brought down at the Dixie State 41, and a flag will fly after the play and a 16-yard pickup. It's clearly extracurriculars after the play, but who's it going against? I think it's getting chippy already early in this second half. As our official confers, make sure they have the call right. Dixie State is walking backwards. That's never a good sign.
Was over. Unsportsmanlike conduct. Offense number 1. His first of the game. 15-yard penalty. First down.
So you get kind of a taunting-like penalty. And we'll see if we can get a look at it after this play as Wilstead, man, did everything right. Rolled out to his right, checked his reads downfield, wanted to go to Malcolm Ross Turner, couldn't get it to him. Dumps it to Casey Allison and gets down and makes a catch. Ooh, little kick.
Yeah.
On the ground. You can't do that. I thought maybe he said something, but that's absolutely the right call. You can't do that. This team's having some issues with that. Read option, Wilstead's going to keep it around the right end of the 30, trying to stay on his feet, holding on to the ball to the 35-yard line and out to the 36. Will they give him the 36? If so, that's another first down.
Yeah, it's maybe going to be maybe an inch or two short. They are moving the chains now, so they are going to give him. They are going to give him first down yardage out across the 36-yard line, as you see, just able to get enough room on that sideline to get 10 yards for the first down and make up for that play, that unsportsmanlike conduct penalty on Casey Allison.
Love that play call, by the way. They're not expecting an RPO from Wilstead.
But now they're going to be expecting it for the rest of the game, which will set up other things for the Trailblazer offense.
Play action. Wilstead across the middle. There's Chase Hess across the 50 to the Black Hill State 45. Diving forward to the 43-yard line. A big pickup and a great ball. Tight spiral from Cody Wilstead. He is in the zone.
Saw this play earlier, ran by Keaton Mott. You see Chase Hess just running a seam route up the middle. Maybe it's got to be something they saw in film study in preparation for this game, where if that tight end releases up the seam, if you have receivers on either side, that's going to have an open window, and they've exploited that for a couple times today.
Clock rolling, 13:40 to go here in the third quarter. Less than 2 minutes have gone by in the third quarter. It's Canelli Robles will keep it around the left end. 35, diving for the marker, and he will pick it up. First down run, or are they going to mark him just 1 yard shy? It's right at the marker, and I believe the sticks are going to move. Yes, they will. 10-yard run for Andrew Canelli Robles.
Yeah, and good fake carried out by Cody Wilstead here, as you see run pass option, faking it to Canelli Robles. He held on to it long enough to make him think that he might pull it. He gives it to Canelli Robles, who gets the sidelines, and enough for the first down.
Wilstead, play action, looking, fires across the middle, and it's incomplete. A flag will fly. Defensive holding, perhaps, at least in that area.
It's thrown in the secondary. A couple flags came down.
We wait for the call. Now they got to confirm a number. That throw right there, and now they're moving backwards. This could be a holding.
Maybe going to be a pick play.
Ineligible player downfield. Offense number 5. 5-yard penalty. Replay second down.
Can't be number 5 because Alex Lilliard is not playing offense. 58. So Taylor Alvarez back out there on the offensive line. He played week 1, got hurt against Pueblo, and now he's back. You've heard Coach Peterson talk a couple of times about, listen, we've had some young guys, some of our best offensive linemen that got dinged up early. We're starting to get them back, and they're getting them back at the right time when the offense is clicking. First down and 15. Wilstead fires to the right side. Jalen Powell makes the catch, tries to plant and cut, but falls and goes to the ground. He will pick up the 5 yards back to the original line of scrimmage. Second down and 10. Ball to the 33-yard line.
Yeah, just a little out route by Jalen Powell. Had thoughts of maybe cutting this one back up the field, but you see just lost his footing there as he gets onto the sideline. That was good coverage and a good tackle by Xavier Bonham of the Yellow Jackets.
12:43 to go. Empty backfield for Cody Wilstead on second down and 10. 5 receiver set. Devin Osborne, the 6'7" junior, is one of those. Slant route to Casey Allison is incomplete, off of the hands of Allison, but that was probably the first time today that we can say Wilstead missed his guy.
Yeah, this one was just led Allison a little bit too far. As you see, he tries to make a diving catch, but this one leading him just a bit too far, not able to bring it in. It'll force third down and just a little over 10 yards to go.
Clock stopped at 12:34 here in the third quarter. Dixie State a 31-13 lead. On third down and 10, here's Wilstead. Pocket collapses, moving out to his left. Throws the ball back across to the field. Man is there. Catch made! Is it a touchdown? It is! Casey Allison with the catch of the game so far. And it is for a touchdown on third down. What a play!
And this was a tremendous throw from Cody Wilstead, coming back to his left. His weak side, obviously, was a right-handed thrower. He turns, has to throw this one across his body. It just shows you the arm strength that Cody Wilstead has. As you see here, flushed out of the pocket, rolling to his left. Turns, he does a good job of getting his shoulders square to the target. Casey Allison goes up and brings it down. What a play for the Trailblazers.
The PAT is up, and it is through. Dixie State leading it with 12:25 to go in the third. Trailblazers 38, Black Hills State 13. 60-second timeout and back on the Trailblazer Football Network.
Radio Dixie 91.3. We don't play that. Nope, not that. A big fat no there. That's what we play. And stuff like that. On St. George's only alternative, Radio Dixie 91.3. Oh, and from 9 till midnight, we play this.
I need a one dance.
And this. Radio Dixie 91.3 FM.
When I was growing up, my mom was extremely tidy. We were trained to put things back where we got them from. One day, when I walked into my mom's house, I felt like I walked to someone else's house. There was stuff everywhere. And just growing up the way I grew up and to see this transition was very alarming.
When Sean talked to me, it was a wake-up call, and that's when I went to the doctor.
12:25 to go in the third quarter for the Trailblazers. It's a 7-play drive, 75 yards, 2:35 off the clock, and it is the 33-yard touchdown pass from Cody Wilstead to Casey Allison. Drayson on the run, throwing back the opposite side of the field across his body for the score. The kickoff is short and returnable, fielded at the 5-yard line by Isaac Jefferson, and the tackle made on special teams from behind is Andrew Canelli-Robles. The running back getting in there, making the stop.
Yeah, that was a good open field tackle by the redshirt junior out of Orem, Utah. Tremendous play. And then going back to that play from Cody Wilstead, I mean, what a tremendous throw, like you mentioned, throwing across his body to the far side of the field. Tremendous arm strength to get enough on that one to not have it underthrown and perhaps intercepted, but really good job for the Trailblazers coming out after that good first half they had, and then that first possession in the second half, going for 7 points.
It's a breakout game for Casey Allison as well. We'll give you his numbers here in just a moment. On first down for Black Hills State, it is the running back, Nolan Susel. And he will go for 8 yards. Second down and 2 upcoming. And Black Hills State going to come out. They're going to say, we're going to do the same thing that we did the first drive of the game and see if we can run this ball down the field and get into scoring territory. Man in motion. They don't give it to him. Instead, back to the running back, Susel, and he is swallowed up for no gain. Third down and 2. Coming up for Black Hills State. Harpham was in motion from left to right. Anytime you see that, you're expecting him to get it. He did not get it. No gain. Third down and 2. Here we go.
That was a clever play design, but sniffed out pretty well by Tyler Heaton, who brought him down right at the line of scrimmage.
Trips to the near side, empty to the right. Here's Susel, and he's hit and driven back. Didn't get it. No gain. Third down try is unsuccessful, and it will be fourth down and 2. And no motion to bring the punting unit on yet. And now here they go. They're all huddling up on the special teams coach.
Trailblazers did a good job of preventing third down conversions in the first half. Now Black Hills State 6 of 12 for a 50% clip on third downs right now. The Trailblazers force a 3 and out and get their offense back out onto the field.
Cody Wilstead has accounted for 4 touchdowns in this football game. Punt is away from Parks. Xavier Smith will field it at the 28-yard line. He's zigging, he's zagging, and he is knocked to the ground at the 30-yard line. And Dixie State will take over at its own 30. A lot of effort for a 2-yard return, but Dixie State will take over with a 70-yard field. 10:34 to go in the third quarter. As we take a look ahead at Dixie State's schedule for the rest of the season. After playing 3 in a row on the road, Drayson, you come home and you get 5 of the next 7 to finish the season at home. So you've got Black Hills State today. Next week, Simon Fraser. The last time the Trailblazers will play under the lights here at Trailblazer Stadium this season. Former GNAC foe, Simon Fraser, from coming down from Canada for that game. And that game I'm really intrigued for because the Dixie State and Simon Fraser, and I'll finish this thought here in just a moment with 10:34 to go. Trailblazers are lining up offensively. Wilstead still running the offense. They'll hand off to Canelli-Robles. Robles off tackle to the right, trying to turn the corner, can't do it. A couple of Black Hills State defenders there to bring him down. One of them is Josh Gurnaby.
Yeah, Josh Gurnaby and Cole Miller, good pursuit here as Kennelly Robles continue to try to bounce this one to the outside. You see Cole Miller first to bring him, and Josh Gurnaby finishes him off.
The Simon Fraser matchup next week is really intriguing because Simon Fraser and Dixie State were always battling it out for kind of the lower part of the GNAC. I feel like Dixie State's football program has grown a ton since then, so I'm excited to see how they match up next week. Got to finish this game first. Wilstead will keep it on the RPO, and he's off to the left side. Kind of an awkward tackle down below the knees, and he will pick up 4 yards. It'll be 3rd down and 2 upcoming down to the 39-yard line.
Yeah, once again, Josh Gurnaby in on the stop, and Xavier Bonham were able to bring him down. If he gets to that end, he's not a lot of defense behind him. He could have put that one maybe into Black Hills territory, if not farther.
9:30 to go and ticking here in the 3rd quarter. 3rd down and 2. High snap to Wilstead. Brings it down. Gives to Kennelly Robles. 1st down yardage and more across the 40 down to the 46-yard line. Needed just 2. He'll pick up 7. And another 1st down brought to you by Lonnie Boy's Barbecue for the Trailblazers.
Yeah, and a good counter run here by the Trailblazers, giving it to Kennelly Robles. He acts like he's going off to the left side and then cuts it back. The hole opened up very nicely. Could have driven a truck through that one as he picks up 6 yards and gets in to the Yellow Jackets secondary.
Trailblazers on 3rd down today. How about 6 of 8? You'll take that any day of the week. Play action. Wilstead rolling out to his right, looking. Nothing there. He'll lob it downfield, incomplete.
Yeah, just a throw away from
Smart
Cody
choice.
Wilstead. Smart choice. He was biding his time, trying to keep an eye out for anyone that comes open. But that one just ran out of real estate on the sideline there as he just throws this one away.
But he wanted to throw to Devin Osborne, the 6'7" junior. And he waited, but just didn't feel comfortable. Even with Devin at 6'7", did not feel comfortable with putting that ball in that one-on-one situation. Wisely throws it away. 8:44 to go on the 3rd, and they'll reset and do it again on 2nd down. Ball at the 46-yard line. Trips to the near side in a bunch formation. Pump fake from Wilstead. Now will lob downfield, and Xavier Smith will make the catch on the run inside the 20, sliding down to the 15-yard line, and that is where the Trailblazers will have it.
Yeah, tremendous route ran here by Xavier Smith. I thought he was originally going to go to DeJuan Dancer on the far sideline, who was wide open, but wisely decides to go to Xavier Smith on a kind of just a wheel route almost, and gets him really free space. No one was covering him downfield. Brings it down to the 16-yard line.
Great catch by Xavier Smith, and Wilstead put that ball in a spot where no defenders are going to get to it. My guy will be able to run under it. And Cody Wilstead having himself a game today. Clock stopped at 8:42 to go in the 3rd. Now we're having some issues with the clock. Now it says 83:50. I don't think we're going to play 83 minutes. There we go, 8:35. 8:35 to go and rolling here in the 3rd. Dixie State into the True by Hilton red zone. Hand off to C.J. Luongo. C.J. spinning forward. He'll pick up 5 yards down to the 11-yard line. 2nd down and 5 upcoming.
Yeah, this is what C.J. Luongo does. He just powers forward. It seems like he's always getting 3 or 4 yards. I mean, this is a signature C.J. Luongo run. Keeps the legs turning, and even when he's turned around, he falls backwards to get an extra yard or 2.
8:03 to go. High snap to Wilstead. He'll leave it with C.J. Trying to run out of a tackle. He does. High steps out of another, and he's inside the 5 down to the 4-yard line. He'll pick up a 1st down, and the Trailblazers will have 1st and goal at the 4.
C.J. Luongo is tough to find back there. 5'8" is all. He stands above the ground, and when he gets in between these big, offensive linemen, it's tough to see him back there. And then once he gets into the secondary, he's very quick and crafty. He can make guys miss. He picks up the 1st down on back-to-back carries.
DeJuan Dantzler split out to the left side is your only receiver. 2 back set with Natoa and Luongo. They give to CJ, feeling his way, stopped, and then he gets in on the 2nd opportunity. 4-yard touchdown run for C.J. Luongo, his 2nd touchdown of the season, and the Trailblazers lead at 44-13, 7:29 to play in the 3rd.
And then you see the patience of a veteran running back in C.J. Luongo. Doesn't rush this one, stays behind his blockers, waits for the hole to open up, and has a window to get into the end zone. He does just that. A nice little run for C.J., and the touchdown brings the score to 44-13, Dixie State, PAT pending.
and it's a Seiji Luongo who is, and he does it with a happy heart and no complaining. With such a talented running back core this year, they're all just playing their role and doing their thing, and not one guy has to take 25-plus carries a game. 7:29 to play on your Camping World scoreboard. Dixie State a 45-13 the lead. We'll take a 60-second timeout and come back to Trailblazer Stadium on the Trailblazer Football Network.
For over a century, Dixie State University has been shaping the trailblazers of tomorrow by providing a culture of active learning, active life. With a paradigm of real-world experience mixed with cutting-edge technologies and rich traditions, we provide one of the most affordable educations in the West, set against the most stunning backdrop on the planet.
Hi, I'm Smokey Cole Bear, filling in because for 75 years, Smokey only said,
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Meanwhile, the song was wrong. We did start the fire. Go to SmokeyBear.com to learn more about wildfire prevention.
Play Eric Amarola's Race Day Mix.
$7:29 remaining in the third quarter as we welcome you back into Trailblazer Stadium. All smiles inside the stadium, at least on the Dixie State side of the facility. The Trailblazers a 45-13 lead, looking like they're well on their way to their fourth consecutive victory. We still got a quarter and a half to play, so I don't want to get ahead of myself. But the Trailblazers a 45-13 lead. They're trying to surpass the 55 points scored in New Mexico Highlands a couple of weeks ago. And right now, Drayson, it certainly looks like that could be possible.
Yeah, the Trailblazers playing well right now. The offense is clicking on all cylinders. Unlike that we've seen, really we've not seen kind of this sustained amount of offense throughout the entire season. I mean, we've seen flashes of it at time, but this has been, I can't remember, maybe there's only been one punt, I believe, all game for Dixie State. They've been really moving the ball well offensively.
Isaac Jefferson going to call a fair catch. That rule that was put into place last year, that on a kickoff that is short of the goal line, you can call a fair catch, make the catch, and then it'll move it out to the 25-yard line. And that's something I'm okay with. We saw it last year. We see it again this year. If you can do something to make the game a little bit safer and take some of those unnecessary collisions away, I think that's a good thing.
Yeah, it's always good to make the game safer. And then, of course, don't ever usually see a whole lot of action on kickoffs. Occasionally you'll see a kickoff return, but, good rule change on that one to increase the safety of the game.
Bunch formation, 4 receivers split out to the left. They'll swing it to Harfum. Man, they had everybody. They had the tight end lined up to block. They had the quarterback and 3 backs back behind the line in that shotgun formation. And then they all sprinted out to the left side to try to throw Dixie State off and complete a pass to Harfum for 3 yards, second down and 7.
It seems like the first time we've called Harfum's name all of the second quarter.
Harfum from the Wildcat will hand off to Gilmore on second down, and he'll pick up close to the first down. I think they're going to give him 6 yards, 1 yard shy of the first down, out to the 34-yard line. Third down and 1 from the 34.
Yeah, Gilmore just, cutting back and forth and able to kind of find his way just through the defensive secondary and pick up 6 yards, forcing a third down and short.
Eben on 3rd and 1. We'll leave it with Gilmore. Feeling his way off tackle to the left. He'll get the first down and dive forward for an extra 4 yards out to the 39-yard line. Needed 1, got 5. And a first down for Black Hill State.
And this one just comes off the left end here, just as he bounces it to the outside, finds the hole there, running in between his left guard and his left tackle there, and finds 5 yards to pick up the first down.
6:07 and ticking here in the third. Dixie State a 45-13 lead. Eben play action, hit as he throws, spins out of it, incomplete. Ends up on his back. No flags. Jailhouse break.
Yeah, that's
second down.
Will Yamasaki that was forcing that one out quickly. As you see, he'll come off onto the right side and then bring down Chance Eben there as he forces this one out. Just almost throws it away as he senses the pressure from Yamasaki.
Second down and 10. Pistol formation. Eben will hand off to Gilmore. Surge ahead for 5 yards and then hit and driven. Lilliard there to help bring him to the ground. The initial hit, though, as they get up, is Lenandre Schwally.
And this is what the Yellow Jackets were doing early on in the first quarter of this game, is just really gaining a lot of ground, a lot of yards on the ground, and they're going back to it here. It's the only thing that's really been working for them on this drive.
Play action, Eben across the middle, broken up by Darius Nash, incomplete. You saw even Darius looking around to check and see if any flags were going to be thrown. Black Hill State head coach John Reiners not happy that no flag was thrown. Yeah. And it's incomplete fourth down. You even saw Darius, as soon as it happened, he's saying, no, that's not a penalty. I think Nash and the ball get there at the same time.
Yeah, it's close. It's tough to tell on replay. I think, in my vision, it might have gotten there. He might have gotten there just a second or half a second early, but, for the referee in real time, it's tough to make that judgment call on a bang-bang play.
Parks will boot this one away, and it will bounce and roll inside the 5, and this ball is going to be downed at the 2-yard line. Good punt by Jacob Parks. This time, he punted it away from Xavier Smith. He doesn't have a ton of punt return yards, but is very good at chasing that ball down, making the fair catch, making sure that ball doesn't run in there. And he's able to punt it to the opposite side of the field.
The trouble is we're trying to run a little bit of a deke play there. The punt went to the right side of the field. Xavier Smith acted like he was going to come and field it on the right side of the field, the near sideline, and then they were running another receiver back there, and obviously it was a long punt, not able to bring that, bring it in. But that was what it looked to me like that was a design play there. Just trying to pull that one out of your bag of tricks.
We saw Tanner Hammond, redshirt sophomore quarterback, warming up on the sideline, throwing some footballs around. But Dixie State will send Cody Wilstead out onto the field at least one more time, standing 4 yards deep in his own end zone. Will take the snap. Looking, fires across the middle, and Jalen Powell can't quite make the catch. Threw it a little bit behind them. Wilstead's looking around. The defensive end on the right side jumped a little bit, and I'm wondering if Wilstead maybe thought free play. The flag was never thrown. You see him jump a little bit, but not far enough to get into the neutral zone. But he's not acting like he's just trying to chuck the ball up. Just missed him.
Yeah, and you see that pass just thrown behind Jalen Powell a little bit as Wilstead can't find his favorite target.
5:10 to go in the third. Clock stopped. Shotgun snap to Wilstead. Fake the handoff, and then he's going to keep it around the right side. He's to the 5. Flag flies as Wilstead tackled out near the 10-yard line. And when it's your quarterback, internally you're kind of screaming, just blow the whistle already and let him go to the ground. He'll get out to the 10-yard line, but a flag's right at the line of scrimmage. This one probably coming back.
And this one thrown in the area where you typically see a holding on the offense. We'll see what head referee has to say as we get the call.
Holding. Offense, number 51. Half the distance to the goal from the previous spot. Replay, second down.
It's Walter Pona, 6'3", 310-pound freshman from Chula Vista, California. Gets hit for holding, and now Dixie State will do 2nd and 12 from inside the 1-yard line. 3 receivers to the near side. Malcolm Ross Turner, Jalen Powell, and the tight end Chase Hess. It's Casey Allison split out wide to the left. Wilstead will step up. Another flag flies. Wilstead's going to have to just run this one, and he's hit, banged out of bounds, runs for another first down, but a flag again in the end zone, I think, is bringing this one back.
Yeah, this one could be another hold on the offense. If this happens in the end zone, this could be a safety. This is not sure if that rule translates. I know it's in the NFL. Not sure if it translates to the college game as we get the call here from the referee.
It's going to be a safety.
Holding. Number 51 of the offense. That foul took place in the end zone. By rule, that is a safety.
And it's a safety.
Good call by Drayson.
Good call by you. I was going to give you credit for it.
Sure.
Good call by you.
Yeah, holding the end zone always results in a safety. I was pretty sure that happened, and you see there it just pulls
barely
him to the
inside
ground,
the end zone. Yep.
Grabs him by the back and just pulls him to the ground. That's a good call. Back-to-back holding penalties
maybe
for the Trailblazers.
Call it fate, call it whatever you want, because Wilstead almost stepped on the back of the end zone white stripe as he was getting set to scramble. You see Walter Pona getting coached up by his offensive line coach, John Hughes. Great offensive line coach. Dixie State, they're just going to get the ball back at the 20.
They're going to have to kick at the 20. They're going to have to
do
a
Dixie
free
State's got to kick it
20.
away at the 20.
Yep.
I don't know. It's it's midway through the third quarter. I act like I've never been part of a football game before. Dixie State called for a safety. And let's just play a little game, Drayson. When do you think Dixie State's last safety was committed?
If I get the year right, do I get
sure.
half credit?
Let's give you the year.
I'm going to say 2015 was the year.
You got it.
2015, I'm going to say they were
at home
playing,
or on the road?
I'm going to say it was at home.
Can you see over my shoulder?
I can't see over your shoulder. I'm going to say it's at home. And I'm going to say...
What month of the season?
I'm going to say it was in September.
Oh, look at this. They've got it on the tee, and they're going to kick it away. I thought it was a drop kick. James Baird will kick it away on the free kick. Feel it at the 20 by Isaac Jefferson at the left hash. Feeling his way across the 35 and then brought down out near the 40-yard line. And Black Hills State will take over. 45-15, Dixie State the lead. So you got to tell me what month.
I'm going to say September.
Well, 2 for 3 is not bad. Last Dixie State safety occurred versus Humboldt State November 7th, 2015. A running back was tackled in the end zone. 4:28 remaining. The more you know, Drayson. The more you know. Pistol formation for the Yellow Jackets. It's Renteria. Will take the handoff out of the backfield, and he'll move forward. 2-yard gain. 2nd down and 8 upcoming. Clock rolling. 4:18 to play.
Again, the Yellow Jackets going back to the run. This has been successful for them basically throughout the entire game, and obviously on the previous possession had some success on the ground. Renteria getting the carry there as he's kind of the third back of this running back core between Susel and Gilmore.
Play action, pass across the middle, incomplete. Eben had his tight end open in the middle of the field. That's Jarrett Jensen, but he threw it up and over the top.
And Jarrett Jensen's a big guy, but not able to get up to grab this one as Chance Eben. You see here, kind of forced a little bit to throw that ball a little bit sooner than he'd like. Got a good push from the defensive lineman, Tariq Wright.
On 3rd down, Eben will roll out to his right. Pass is complete to who else? Kyler Harpham, right at the sticks. 1st down, Yellow Jackets.
Yeah, again, like I said, they like to go to him on 3rd down. He's their playmaker offensively. If they can get to him on 3rd down, they're going to do it if they have the opportunity. As you see, Chance Eben is designed kind of pocket rolled out to the right, and Kyler Harpham comes on about a 12-yard in route and gets to the sideline, brings that one in to convert the 3rd down.
On a 1st down and 10 from the Dixie State 49-yard line. Here's Renteria. Surging off tackle to the right. He'll get down to the 45 for a gain of 4 yards. Clock rolling at 3:22. Here in quarter number 3.
Met initially by Fred Prescott on the defensive line as they go hurry up now.
And whistles.
I think you're going to get Dixie State with 12 men on the field here.
And we wait for the call.
Illegal substitution by the defense. 12 on the field. 5 yards from the previous spot. Replay. 2nd down.
You're feeling pretty good about yourself, aren't you?
That hurry up forced the Trailblazers to substitute quickly, and smart call by the Yellow Jackets to get that one as you see Alex Lillard trying to make his way off the field and not able to get in time for the snap.
It's interesting. You see that happen a lot, and you're up here thinking, why aren't you snapping the football? Haven't seen it a lot today, but it seems to happen at least once or twice every game. Eben rolling out to his left will make the throw back across his body, and the catch is made by Jordan Pace for another Yellow Jacket first down.
And this is just a situation where the Yellow Jackets are just trying to get enough yardage for the first down. They send Jordan Pace on a 5-yard out route, and he brings it in with good coverage there all over him.
2:55 to go. Handoff up the middle on first down, and he will go for 1 yard maybe. We'll call it 2nd down and 9, ball to the 32-yard line. With the clock rolling at 2:40 and a 45-15 Dixie State lead.
And Brennan Miller was the first one there that kind of just got a hand on him enough to slow him up just a little bit. As you see there, number 57 gets a hand on him and slows him up after a host of Trailblazers come in and bring him down.
2nd down and 9. Indeed, they do give them the 1 yard. Harfum in motion. They don't hand it off to him. Now they're looking to him. Pressure coming. They'll dump it out of the backfield. The Renteria makes the catch at the 30. Cuts back inside of the 25. On his feet to the 20. And brought down by Will Yamasaki. And a flag flies right toward the end of that play. And it is sitting at the Dixie State 23-yard line. All right, let's hear. You've predicted the last 4 penalties. Let's hear this one.
I think this is going to be a hole on one of the offensive linemen as he was streaking out. Thought it might have been.
Illegal block below the waist. Number 28 of the defense. The penalty's enforced. Half the distance to the goal with an automatic first down.
Block below the knees on the defense? I'm not sure I've ever even heard this call. How?
So the defender, you saw it right there in the corner of your screen.
Took out the legs
He
of
took
one
out,
of the
he took out the legs of one of the offensive
blockers.
linemen who had pulled out there. I've never seen that called before. The more you know. Now Black Hills State with 1st and goal inside the 10. They give to Renteria. He's met at the 5, turns backwards, and he's still moving. Now the whistles blow. And it turns into a war out there. That's my least favorite play in all of football. I'm surprised more people aren't hurt on that play.
Yeah, as you see Renteria just on a counter play, fakes right, comes back to the left, gets into the hole and lowers his shoulders. And you can see here kind of just backing in his way towards the end zone. And of course his offensive lineman kind of helped give him a little extra push.
2nd and goal from the 3 for Black Hills State. It's a Wildcat formation. Gilmore is running the Wildcat. He'll take the snap and he is swallowed up. Tariq Wright got to him first. Mitch Jacobs there to help. Connor McKay there to help.
Yeah,
Dylan Hendrickson in to give a high five after the play.
Yeah, Tariq Wright blew this play up in the backfield, just grabs him, and then you see does not let him go. Gets him by the shoulder pads, holds on, and brings him back for a loss of about 3.
Under a minute to play here in the 3rd. 45 ticks remaining in this 3rd quarter clock. Even back in on 3rd and goal. Back to the 6 now. Pump fake, he's going down. Connor McKay, the solo sack. And Dixie State has forced the Yellow Jackets back. They'll probably have to try a field goal now, unless they opt to just keep the offense on the field and try to go for it, trailing 45 to 15.
Yeah, got to try to get points on the board if you're a Black Hills State.
They're going to take the between 3rd and 4th quarter break to discuss it.
Yeah, good play there by Connor McKay, just staying with this one as Chance even kind of rolled out to his left a little bit as he was avoiding the pressure, but good pursuit there by McKay to bring him down, forcing a big loss at a 4th down play.
3 minutes, 3 quarters of football in the books. Dixie State 45, Black Hills State 15. We take the 60-second timeout and come back with the final quarter on the Trailblazer Football Network.
There is a place where the sun doesn't hide in the winter, where the greens stay green and the crimson canyons still glow. There is a place where dimples determine destiny, and a tiny wooden tee holds the outcome in the balance. There is a place where we drive for show, putt for dough, and settle the score with another round. There is a place.
All right, Monroe, you ready? Monroe. Here we go, the butterfly. Ready? Ooh.
Welcome back. 15 minutes up on the fourth quarter clock, and they're going to go for it. 4th and goal from the 12. Offense on the field. Eben rolling out to his right for the Yellow Jackets. And it is incomplete or intercepted. Either way, Dixie State's getting it back. And they're going to rule it incomplete.
Yeah, and that's...
And you could hear the fans below us say, no, drop it, because you gain about, 10 yards? 10 yards of field position. Turnover on downs. I'm still trying to see who that was.
Yeah, it was incomplete.
Who is that? It's Will Yamasaki. Would have been his first career interception, so he's arguing for it. Say, give me that thing. 14:51 to go. Dixie State will force the turnover on downs and gets it back at the 12-yard line. The only 2 points the Trailblazers have given up in the second half so far, the safety.
Yep.
A hold in the end zone. Cody Wilstead still in at quarterback. Handoff on first down to Darman Natoa, and he'll pick up 3 yards. 2nd down and 7. Clock rolling. 14:44 to go.
And I wouldn't be surprised if you see a lot more of this throughout the rest of this game. Just see if you can pound the run and see if you can, get your running backs going in a game where you've controlled the entire game. You're leading by 30 points. No reason to try to, put Cody Wilstead in any more danger. I say danger for lack of a better term, but any more of that than you need to.
Low snap to Wilstead. He'll wing it out to Jalen Powell on the left side, and he is hit and driven back after a pickup of 3 more yards. And it'll be 3rd down and call it 2 yards, long 2.5 yards maybe. 3rd down and 2. Ball onto the 20-yard line. 14 minutes to go.
Yeah, Jalen Powell kind of just on a design screen out to the flat and tried to make 2 guys miss, but good pursuit there by a couple of different Yellow Jackets.
Well, since Keaton Mott left in the second quarter, guess what the Trailblazers have not done since then? Not punted. Snap to Wilstead on 3rd and 2. Brings it down. He's going to run for it. Now he's going to throw, and pass is complete to Darman Natoa. He's got the sideline. 35-40. Tackle from behind across the 40 to the 41-yard line. First down for the Trailblazers. First down's brought to you by Lonnie Boy's Barbecue.
And Cody Wilstead does a good job of keeping his eyes downfield. Initially wanted to tug it. Finds his check down receiver, which is Darman Natoa. Gets a good block there from his tight end Chase Hess, which gives that one enough yardage for a first down and more across the 40 to the 42.
13-18 to go in the 4th. Malcolm Ross Turner and DeJuan Dantzler will be split out to the left. Chase Hess is lined up on the right side. Read option. Wilstead's going to keep it. Tripped up across the 45 and will fall right at midfield. He picks up 8 yards on first down at 10. And that has worked every time.
Yeah, and they're just not expecting it from Cody Wilstead to run this ball. They faked it a couple times. Like I said, you only got to run it once or twice to keep the defense honest, and that started to open up a few extra things, a few extra little wrinkles in this offense that has kept it moving all day.
12:50 to go in the 4th. This time they'll leave it with Darman Natoa, and he'll power through the middle to pick up 4 yards. First down for the Trailblazers.
And that's why you run the play before the quarterback keeper, because it's the same play here. You just give it to Darman Natoa instead of keeping it. That sets him up, gets him enough 4 yards for the first down. Those little things is what you have to do to keep the defense honest. If they can key in on one thing or one play or eliminate something you're trying to do offensively, it gives them an advantage. You got to do plays like that to keep them balanced.
12:40 to go. Dixie State leading it 45-15. 1st and 10 for the Black Hill State 46-yard line. They'll go with Natoa around the left end, and he's going to lose 3 yards on the play.
Yeah, just no room to run off the left side for Darman Natoa. A couple of Yellow Jackets in pursuit, namely Josh Gernaby, who was the kind of leading defender or leading this charge here, as you see. Just trying to keep forcing it outside. You see stiff arm on Keyshawn Farmer, and then, that was number 27 for the Yellow Jackets, Jake Phelan. Josh Gurnaby kind of came in there late.
You could probably say Josh Gurnaby on any given play, and he'd be at least in the area.
He's
ball hawk.
Really good. He is a ball hawk. That's a good word. I'm glad you said that.
11:50 to go. Second down and 13. They'll swing it to Natoa out of the backfield. He's at midfield. Sideline at the 40 and runs into his own guy. Across the 40, he ran into Devin Osborne at the 38-yard line of Black Hill State and fell out of bounds. Needed 13, picked up 11, and it'll be third down and 2.
And this is just, if they're going to give this to you, I like to always say, take what the defense gives you. If they're going to give you this this little rollout screen pass to the right, not a screen pass, but kind of just a dump out to the flat and pick up 11 yards, you'll do it just about every time.
11:32 remaining, and a flag flies. It's false start.
It remains.
And in the meantime, Cody Wilstead, that's your quarterback. You love to see it. Cody Wilstead going to bend down and tie Josh Partita's shoe, his cleat in the offensive line. Says, I got you, brother.
It'll make this third down a little bit more difficult for the Trailblazers as they're facing a 3rd and 7 instead of a 3rd and 2. Converted the majority of their third downs so far. I'd like to see what they can do here.
Snap to Wilstead. Loads up, zings it across the middle, and he's going to make the catch. Jalen Powell. How on earth did he hold on to that ball? Down to the 35-yard line, a pickup of 13, and another Lonnie Boys Barbecue first down.
And Jalen Powell is the preferred target for the Trailblazers on third down. Coming into this game, 21% of all third down passes were targeted for Jalen Powell. You see Cody Wilstead finding him here, enough for the first down. A good play and a good play design.
You've been waiting for 50 minutes of football to pull that stat out, haven't you?
Hey, that's what I do.
High snap to Wilstead, a wing it to Darman Natoa, and a little bit too high. The catch is made by Natoa, but he's immediately bumped out of bounds by Isaiah Tivis.
Yeah, that was DeJuan Dantzler trying to block Tivis there on that left side. Just didn't get a good enough block on him, and Tivis, as you see there, just nudges him out of bounds.
They lose 4 yards on the swing pass to the left side. Second down and 14, ball back to the 39-yard line. Natoa split out wide, 5-receiver set here, empty backfield for Wilstead. Passes batted down at the line and falls incomplete, intended for the tight end Chase Hess.
Yeah, this one was, had about a 8-yard completion. If this one gets to Chase Hess, they had him open there, but like I said, would have only been maybe a 5 to 8 yard completion. As you see here, good job of getting your hand up here for the defensive lineman. Tough to see who that was. Could have been Cole Miller. Getting his hand up and knocking that one down is forcing a third down and 14 for the Trailblazers.
Wilstead's last completion to Jalen Powell put him over 300 yards passing for the day. Cody will roll out. Now he's going to have to scramble. Moving out to his right. He's going to run for it. He's to the 30. Tries to hurdle a man, and he's going to get the first down. I'm not sure if the hurdle was entirely necessary or if you want to see your 6'7" quarterback going up to try to hurdle a guy. But either way, it ends up in a first down. A great run by Cody Wilstead.
Tremendous athleticism from your quarterback here as he gets out into open field and then just leaps over Lathan Stevenson. That one, not sure, like I said, if he gets the first down without the hurdle.
First down for the Trailblazers. He'll extend it to Natoa. Darman around the right end. Spinning off of some tackles. Flag flies at the 20-yard line. I think this one's coming back. He had the first down run inside the 10-yard line, but that flag sitting right at the 20.
A good run on first down for Darman Natoa, but hard to imagine this one not coming back, as the Trailblazers are working that way.
Holding, offense, number 63. 10 yards from the spot of the foul, replay, first down.
It's Tima Malia Tulua on the penalty, and you can see him kind of say, hey, my bad,
and
right after the play.
If it's any consolation, the hold takes place at the 20-yard line instead of the 23 where the line of scrimmage was. So instead of being first and 10, it's only first and 17 if that's any consolation.
Take every yard you can get, right? You think Cody Wilstead and Keaton Mott are going to go back and forth tonight about whose hurdle was better?
Oh, I guarantee they will. I'm gonna say Keaton Mott's was better because his
got
defender was not even on the ground. He jumped all the way over him and he was standing
On
up.
first down, Wilstead to the end zone. Chase Hess makes the catch, his second touchdown reception of the day. Touchdown, Trailblazer.
And once again, this is the third time they've ran this play. The second time they've ran it to Chase Hess. They just flipped it from the other times they've ran it. And this is just perfect execution. And I'm going to give, if this is something, like I said, I've said it twice before, if this is something that they noticed in preparation for this game, it has worked to perfection today. Credit Coach Paul Peterson on noticing this. Chase Hess just streaks down the seam of the field going right to the goalpost. And this one, he's wide open. No one was anywhere close to him. Wilstead put a good ball on him, and he brings it in for his second touchdown of the game and of the season.
Baird PAT, you got it. It's up, and it's in. Dixie State 52, Black Hill State 15. 9:10 remaining here in the fourth. We'll take a 60-second timeout. In fact, I think they're going to make this one the media timeout. So we are going to take a 90-second timeout and come back on the Trailblazer Football Network.
Our hearts are made stronger by how we treat others.
Put her there.
The light you share can impact those around you, but so can the darkness.
Later, twerps.
Did Pete saying mean things bother you?
So when you reach out to another person, take a moment to consider how they will feel and let your heart be the key to making a difference. Because of you, someone's entire day, year, or even life can change.
In every heart, there's hope.
I take the road less traveled, run free, unwind, unravel someplace outside with lots to do. Green trees, red rocks, and don't forget that blue sky. The sunshine shining, sunshine pouring on me. Think I might just stay a while. Say hooray all day because the sun is gonna shine on me. Sun is gonna shine on me. Sun's gonna shine on me.
I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat apples and bananas?
Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
52-15. Brooks the Bison's happy. Cheerleaders are happy. Everybody's happy. 9:10 remaining in this football game, and Dixie State a 52-15 lead. A short kick, fair catch called and made by Jefferson at the 5-yard line. Drayson, I'd be shocked if that drive was not a curtain call for Cody Wilstead.
Yeah, I mean, he's played absolutely tremendous today. Kind of put in a pinch situation after replacing the injured Keaton Mott early in the first half. And he's come in and has really played outstanding. There's not a whole lot of things you can say that we haven't already said about just the way that he's come in and executed this offense. He's put a lot of balls on the money. He has missed one or two passes where you thought he could have had a few extra completions, but really overall has played it spectacularly.
Empty backfield for Chance Eben. And Dixie State has really been chasing Chance here in the second. Pass complete across the middle to Isaac Jefferson, and he evades a couple of defenders. And he'll get to the left side of the field across the 40 to the 41-yard line, make it a 16-yard gain on first down.
Yeah, one of the better completions of Chance Eben's day as he finds Jefferson just kind of coming over the middle on a 15-yard drag route. Something to keep in mind right now, Trailblazers defense allowing only 16.5 points per game. Obviously, the Yellow Jackets right now at 15. You'd love to see them contain him right here, not let him score again, and reduce that defensive points per game allowed.
Renteria, the tailback, will motion out and line up as a receiver to the right. Empty backfield again. Now Williams in motion from right to left. Eben calls for the snap. Pressure comes, completes it across the middle, and catch is made by Harfum, and then team tackled by Aaron Simpson and a host of other Trailblazers. Aaron Simpson was trying to strip that ball the entire time, couldn't get it out, and it'll be a first down for the Yellow Jackets across the 50 to the 45-yard line.
Another one of our keys to the game coming in was to contain Kyler. They've done a good job of that in the second half. Maybe just his second or third catch is all in this second half, and they've really not let him beat them offensively.
Empty backfield again. They've abandoned the run game. Pass is complete across the middle to Drain, the backup tight end, and he's going to rumble inside the 30. Black Hill State has said, forget the run game. We're going to go empty backfield. We're going to chuck it up on every play, and it's working.
Yeah, and this has really been good for Chance Eben here to get into a rhythm. This is something we didn't really see earlier in the game. They may have found something that they liked to get him into a rhythm.
Pistol formation this time with Renteria behind him. They'll stretch it out and hand off to Renteria, and he'll pick up 2 yards. And it'll be 2nd down and 8. Clock rolling, 7:35 to go. Speaking of passing game, Grayson, we keep talking about Cody Wilstead and how good he's been. We'll hold that thought for a minute. As Black Hill State rushes back to the line, they'll throw to the end zone, and it's incomplete. Looking for Jensen, the tight end. Talked about how good Cody Wilstead is. Let's not forget that Keaton Mott was having a great day before he left with an injury. He was 12 of 15 for 137 yards and a touchdown. So combined, this Dixie State passing line is 30 for 38, 473 yards and 5 touchdowns.
And that's
through
beautiful.
the air today.
That's absolutely beautiful.
That's
exactly
the
what you want from your
ready
quarterback.
to launch.
Yeah, that's
Coach Peterson. That's what he's been talking about all year.
Yeah, and they've both played tremendously, and hopefully Keaton can recover quickly. And obviously, we don't know what that injury is.
Play action. Eben passes complete to Hassan Williams, and a great tackle by Darius Nash to meet him in the air and bring him down. It'll be a minimal pickup. 4 yards on the play. And it will be 4th down and 6. Offense going to stay on the field for Black Hill State. So here you go, Drayson. It comes down to this. Harfum in motion from right to left. Keep your eye on him. Eben going to roll out to the left, looking for Harfum, and he makes the catch at the sticks and is driven backwards. Where's the spot? It's enough for a 1st down.
Yeah,
Needed 6, got 7, and boy, did I feel like Tony Romo on that play,
Yeah.
calling exactly what I thought was happening.
Yeah, and this was a good play design as Harfum comes in motion right to left. They send a vertical route downfield to clear the safety and the defensive back, and then they bring Harfum back underneath in front of those defensive backs that were trying to prevent the deep route, and they get enough for the 1st down as he brings in his probably 3rd or 4th catch of this 2nd half.
Feels good when you get something right like that. Now I know how you feel. Renteria on 1st down. Steams forward for 3 yards, make it 4 yards, 2nd down and 6. Ball inside the 15 to the 14. Pistol formation on 2nd down and 7, they say. Now that's got to be 6. We're calling it 6. Whistles, and it's going to be a false start.
Prior to the snap, false start. Offense, number 58. 5-yard penalty remains. 2nd down.
This is a false start off this right-hand side. You see the right guard there just kind of comes out of his crouch a little bit too early. And the false start backs him up 2nd and 11 now from the 19-yard line.
How about this? Dixie State with a season high 654 yards of total offense today. Eben on 2nd down will lob to the end zone, incomplete. Malaki there one-on-one with the receiver. Good coverage, incomplete.
Yeah, pass was intended for that's number 28.
Somebody's happy down there. Our crowd mic is literally right above the crowd here. 3rd down and 12. For the Yellow Jackets. Play action. Eben loads up, fires to the end zone. Receiver is wide open, and he makes the catch in the back of the end zone. Touchdown, Yellow Jackets. Jordan Pace.
Yeah, blown coverage for the Trailblazers. I'd like to see a replay on this one to see where this coverage was blown, but Jordan Pace was wide open in the back of the end zone. Looks like just maybe a miscommunication. Darius Nash was the safety deep, and he just never saw him. He was wide open in the back of the end zone. Easy catch for Jordan Pace.
Kicker on for the PAT. That's Sean Dorney. The kick is up, and it is good. with 5:34 to play in the fourth. Dixie State leading at 52-22. We'll take the 60-second timeout and come right back for the conclusion of this one of the Trailblazer Football Network.
Radio Dixie 91.3. We don't play that. Nope, not that. A big fat no there. That's what we play. And stuff like that. On St. George's only alternative, Radio Dixie 91.3. Oh, and from 9 till midnight, we play this. I need a one dance. And this. Radio Dixie 91.3 FM.
1 in 3 adults has pre-diabetes. That means it could be you, your favorite brother, your other brother, you, your football buddy, your football buddy, you, your plumber,
Breathe right into your foot.
your plumber's masseuse,
Yes.
you, your dog walker, your cat jogger. With early diagnosis, pre-diabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
5:34 to go for Black Hills State. 10 plays, 75 yards, 3:36 off the clock. Scoring their second touchdown of the day. And the kickoff is going to go out of bounds for the second time today for Black Hills State. Quick update about the Trailblazers' next opponent. Simon Fraser will be in next week, and they're playing a tough GNAC game today in Monmouth, Oregon. In Western Oregon, leading Simon Fraser 27-0, 9:14 to go in the third quarter. So it's looking like Simon Fraser going to drop that game and will come in here next week on the heels of a loss to Western Oregon. Dixie State will be on the heels of a big win here. And Tanner Hammond, redshirt sophomore quarterback from Bountiful, Utah, will make his first appearance of this game late in the fourth quarter. Read option, Tanner will keep it and dive forward for 2 yards. Second down and 8 across the 35 down to the 37-yard line.
Yeah, and welcome to the game, Tanner Hammond. And your number gets called right away as you go into a hard-hitting secondary. He picks up just 2 yards on first down to get his feet wet, as we say.
Dixie State in this football game, 657 yards of total offense. Drayson, do you know what the single-game record is?
I can't hardly imagine there's been a game that's had more offense. So I'm going to say this one.
One more game with more offense than this one. Hammond will hand off to Andrew Canelli Robles, and no gain for him. Third down and 8 to go for the Trailblazers. And unless somebody breaks a big run here, you may not see this record fall, because I doubt Dixie State's going to throw the football, even on 3rd and 8. At South Dakota Mines in 2015, this is a game we've talked about a lot. Blake Barney ran for almost 300 yards in this game. 682 yards of total offense for the Trailblazers in that game.
And what did you say they're at now?
They are at 657.
So about 30 yards?
So yeah, that's what I'm saying. If you break a big run here.
Well, a lot of pressure on Canelli Robles. And
come on, guys.
And Tanner Hammond here.
Tanner is going to throw. No, he's going to run it. He's going to pull it down across the 40, diving for the marker. He's going to be short. And he's 1 yard shy of the first down. Needed 8, got 7, and it will be 4th down and 1. And Dixie State looking like it's going to punt for the first time since the second quarter, although the offense is still on the field. Tanner Hammond looking over to the sideline like, really? They're probably just letting clock run. And play clock still at 15. Tanner's walking his way off the field. They're not going to go for it.
Let this one go down and call a timeout.
Yep.
Just before the play clock expires.
Now, some of those guys that are playing out there want to go for it. I can tell you that much. Braxton Hatch is out there, receiver that works his tail off at practice. I mean, anything you throw to him is going to be caught. And he's making his 3rd appearance of the year, I think, and he'd like to see a ball thrown his way. So it's looking like Dixie State is probably, depending on how quickly the Trailblazers get the ball back after this next drive, which is probably not likely. Going to end with 663 yards of total offense.
So about 25 yards short?
About 25 yards short. Should I text Coach Peterson real quick and say, hey, go for it?
See if you can get him on the phone. We'd love to see if we can. No, I'm just messing. Obviously, you don't want to.
No, we're just having some fun. We all about sportsmanship. Would not try to go for it on 4th down with a 30-point lead this late in the game, just for a record's sake.
Of course, you never know. The offense still out onto the field. Like, Tanner Hammond's there in the huddle, and I mean, you never know. I mean, you don't. Your punter is injured, and obviously you have your backup, but you know, maybe it's a situation in this game where you don't have your punter. Maybe you want to try to set something up for next week. Maybe run a play that you wouldn't normally run within your game design. That's the only thing that I can think of. Obviously, you know, if you gain the first down, you can just continue to run the ball and run the clock out as the offense drops back onto the field. Just as us broadcasters like to think we know a little bit about the game.
I just didn't think they'd go for it.
Always fooled by what these coaches decide to do.
You're going to see, you can't really call it a power eye because Hammond's not under center. This is a shotgun version. And now Natoa is going to move out to the left hip. They'll give it to Canelli Robles, and he is right at the line. Depending on the spot, he's going to give him the first down. 3:09 to go. Dixie State will get the first down, and the quest for the total offense record continues.
Yeah, you see here, Canelli Robles just runs behind Darman Natoa, who was the lead blocker, up the middle, and just gets him 1 yard, but enough necessary to keep the chains moving.
18 yards shy of the total offense yard record now. Of course, the clock rolling. They're not going to run. They still probably aren't going to get it.
You may only see maybe
a couple more plays.
3 plays, maybe four plays at the most, as they let this clock run all the way down.
They're going to hand it to Natoa, and Darman will surge his way forward for 3 yards. 2nd down and 7, 2:30 to play. Of course, could have just been, you know, hey, we want to run this clock out on our own accord. Black Hills State went down and scored really quickly the last time they had the ball. So,
of course, if you get another first down, at that point you can just knee on it 3 times and the game will be over.
Well, you're getting close. I mean, you're 40 seconds between plays. You're getting close to being able to do that anyway. You got to run maybe another play or two. 2nd down and 7. 668 yards of total offense. Hammond is it with Canelli Robles, and he'll dive forward for 3 more yards. 3rd down and 4 for the Trailblazers. 671 yards of total offense now.
And they're just running this same play over and over, one to the right, one to the left. I mean, it's basically just a power eye dive. One going into the right side A gap, the other one going into the left side A gap, but 3 yards in a cloud of dust. You'll take it just about every time. See if they go back to it here on 3rd down and 3.
11 yards shy of the total offense record.
And if you get this first down, then you can kneel on it.
This is probably going to be the play clock at 3. High snap. Here's Canelli Robles, and he is stopped 1 yard short.
Well, now another question. You don't have enough time to run out the clock. It's about 20 seconds difference between the game clock and the play clock. Got to run one more. I guess you run it on 4th down. You go. If you went for it earlier, you're going to go for it on this one, I assume.
Dixie State play clock or game clock at 43. Game clock or play. Man, let's just stop that one. Game clock is now at 37. Play clock is at 16. So you do have to run another play. Trailblazers are going to win this one. 52-22, improved to 4-1 overall and in RMAC play. Here's Canelli Robles. And he's got the first down, and that will do it. Clock will stop momentarily. And the selfish SID in me of records wants to see him run one more play, but they will not. That's going to do it. Dixie State is going to finish with 677 yards of total offense, 5 yards away from tying the single game record of total offense. But you know what? the end of the day, records really don't matter. Wins and losses matter, and Dixie State wins its 4th consecutive game to match its longest win streak ever in the D2 era, improving to 4-1 overall and 4-1 in RMAC play. And Drayson, they do it in impressive fashion, 52-22. It was a speedy start. It was a solid second half, and Dixie State playing probably its most complete game of the season this year.
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, they started early, got out to a big lead in that first half, and then continued it rolling in the second half. They came out of the second half and scored on their first possession. I think, like you mentioned, one of the most complete games up and down from first quarter to fourth quarter that we've seen all season. The defense was very good again, but the story today for me was the offense and just the way that they were able to move the ball throughout the entire game. It wasn't just one quarter, it wasn't just one half. It was the entire game that they were able to move the ball effectively. Obviously, Keaton Mott got things off to a good start, going 12 of 15 for 137 yards and a touchdown. But then I thought Cody Wilstead came in and just did a tremendous job. He really came in and settled in and was able to find open receivers and really exploit the offense, exploit the defense, not just through the air, but also on the ground as well. He picked up a handful of yards on the ground rushing as well, 50 yards rushing, and really he was the one that controlled this game for me all throughout. The Trailblazers played a really complete game first quarter to fourth quarter.
52-22. Dixie State emerges victorious. They'll take on Simon Fraser next week in the last night game of the season at Trailblazer Stadium. Let's take the 3-minute timeout, and then we will come back with the Jimmy John's post-game show. We're going to name a SkyWest Airlines player of the game and a Honolulu Grill play of the game. And for the first time today, for the first time this season, it might not be so hard to name those players and that play. I mean, there's a lot of stuff to choose from, but I've got a couple in mind that I think will probably end up getting those titles this weekend. 52-22, Dixie State wins it, 4-1 overall, 4-1 in RMAC play. 3-minute timeout and back with the Jimmy John's postgame report on the Trailblazer Football Network.
Hey guys, how are you today?
Good.
I'm here to talk about how with technology you can make amazing worlds. Come with me. My team and I groomed the Halo world to life.
Is that you?
That is me. I wasn't a math genius and I knew nothing about coding. But you guys do. You guys have the power to change things.
I want your job.
I want you to have my job.
I take the road less traveled, run free, unwind, unravel, someplace outside with lots to do. Green trees, red rocks, and don't forget that blue sky. The sunshine shining, sunshine pouring on me. Think I might just stay a while. Say hooray all day because the sun is gonna shine on me. Sun is gonna shine on me. Sun's gonna shine on me.
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Can birds draw pictures?
I don't have an answer for that.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
For over a century, Dixie State University has been shaping the trailblazers of tomorrow by providing a culture of active learning, active life. With a paradigm of real-world experience mixed with cutting-edge technologies and rich traditions, we provide one of the most affordable educations in the West set against the most stunning backdrop on the planet.
Where do you find the titans of classical music in St. George? Classical music on Radio St. George, 100.3 FM. Where do you find the legends of jazz? Evenings on Radio St. George, 100.3 FM.
Welcome back inside the broadcast booth inside Trailblazer Stadium. One final time, the Trailblazers win this one 52-22 and improve to 4-1 overall, 4-1 in RMAC play, and will host Simon Fraser in its lone non-conference game of the season next week. Welcome back inside the booth. Carrick Segment with Drayson Ball with you as we enter the Jimmy John's post-game report. And Drayson, we said it before the break. We talked about it during the break. We talked about Dixie State needing a speedy start. We talked about needing to overcome those first half woes, if you will, the slower first half starts. Today they were able to do so. Gave up a field goal on the opening drive of the game, but then immediately marched back down, got a field goal of their own, and then that took some pressure off, went down, took the lead, and it was no looking back after that en route to a 52-22 victory in what has, before the break, I called it maybe the most complete game of the year, but I don't know. As you look at, there still were a number of Dixie State had 15 penalties in this game, didn't create any turnovers, and some of those penalties led directly to touchdowns. So there have been some games where the defense maybe has been a little bit more sharp than it was today, but today the offense was carrying the load and doing its part to make sure that the defense didn't need to be so crisp, didn't need to be right on top of everything.
Yeah, and I think exactly what you said. In previous matchups, the Trailblazers' defense has been really what's carried them to victories with the offense trying to find exactly what it is or in the early parts of the season. But today, like you said, it was the offense's turn to kind of catch up and watch out. If this Dixie State team can continue to play defense like it has played in the first 5 games of the season, and then if this offense can be what it was today, look out, because it's kind of a two-headed monster, going into the final part of this final half of this season, if you will. And really they were just outstanding today, led by Keaton Mott, Cody Wilstead for the majority of the game. Really hands down all throughout this game were able to gain yards consistently. Didn't have a whole lot of third downs, but when they did, they converted on those at a very high percentage. 9 of 13 on third down conversions, which is good as it gets if you're the Dixie State offense. And then obviously you just played tremendously well throughout the entire game. Got off to a good start, like you mentioned on our pregame show, our pregame keys to the game, and then they just carried it all the way forward through the end of the game.
Trailblazers winning it 52-22, and we'll just start breaking down these Rock Canyon Bank statistics. Final statistics tonight: Dixie State 677 yards of total offense on 76 plays. Black Hill State 354 yards of total offense on 74 plays. You go and you look at this, and I was hoping to see this Dixie State defense hold Black Hill State under 200 yards. Let's go back and let's look at Black Hill State's last scoring drive, shall we? 10 plays, 75 yards, 3:36 off the clock to make it 52-25. I'm no math major, but if you take 75 from 354 yards, you probably would have held this Black Hill State team under 300 yards of total offense. And no one's going to go into the locker room and say, "Oh, guys, we gave up that last touchdown. We shouldn't have." But you like to see, especially when some of those younger guys come out and they get to make their appearances, and some of those 2 and second and third team guys out there, you like to see them hold their own. And what I'm saying is that the Dixie State defense, really did do a great job today, still holding for the most part and most of the game this Black Hill State offense under 300 yards of total offense, were it not for that final drive. So that jumps out at me off of this stat sheet. What jumps out at me, how about this? 9 of 13 on third down today. Dixie State kept drives going when it needed to. 31:03 of possession time, ending with more possession of Black Hills State. 3 for 3 in the red zone, 2 for 2 on fourth down. The one thing that does jump out, and I mentioned this already, 15 penalties for 129 yards. So they've got to go back to the drawing board and say, look, we've got to improve that. And what are you pointing at there? Dixie State only punted.
No. Fumbles. It says they fumbled once and
but didn't lose it. There was a drop in the end zone that the on the kickoff. When you muff a kick, it does go in as a fumble, and then because it's a live ball. I mean, if that ball's recovered in the end zone, but just above that though, how about that? Dixie State only punted one time in this football game. So, I mean, those are your Rock Canyon stats, the team stats. I'll let you dive into some of the individual numbers more, but those are the things that jumped out at me in this game. That the offense, like you mentioned, came around and did its part, not just for the second half, but for the whole game. And an offense that some of the things that they displayed out there, if Cody Wilstead has that much time to throw, if Keaton Mott has that time to throw, again, as a team, 30 for 38, 473 yards through the air, and 5 touchdowns. If they're able to have that much time, they're able to have that way with the air attack, they're going to be hard to beat, especially if you can run for 204 yards to go with that 473 yards of passing as well.
Yeah, the thing that stands out to me is if you look at the drive chart, the scoring plays, Trailblazers scored 2 touchdowns in the final 2 minutes of that first half, which was really key. They gave up that 52-yard field goal, which brought the score to 17-6 at that point in the game. And then all of a sudden, from that point on, the last 4 minutes of that first half, you score. You give up the score to Isaac Jefferson on that drive where they had the 2 penalties that cost them 30 yards. That happened at 1:32 in the end of that second quarter, and then just a minute later, with 24 seconds left, you score another touchdown, bringing the score to 31-13. I think if you go into halftime at 17-6 against this team, they have a lot of confidence coming out of the halftime break, but you put 2 extra scores on them to the end of that half and bring it to 31-13. I think that's kind of what took a little bit of the air out of Black Hills State, because remember, early on, Black Hills State was moving the ball on the ground. They didn't have a whole lot of punts today either. They had a couple in that first half, but that was just about it. They were moving the ball on the ground effectively. We saw what they did towards the end of the fourth quarter when they were moving the ball from a lot of passing plays. That was kind of the way that was all throughout the first half, but I think the Trailblazers kind of took some air out of their locker room, going 31-13 into halftime, and then, of course, coming out on the first possession of the second half and scoring that touchdown to bring it to 38-13, and that was really kind of what deflated the Yellow Jackets.
2 Dixie State receivers today, over 100 yards receiving. Casey Allison, 4 catches, 126 yards, 2 touchdowns. Chase Hess, 4 catches, 107 yards receiving, and 2 touchdowns. I don't have the research off the top of my head, and this may be a next week project. It's going to take some digging, but that may be the most receiving yards by a Dixie State tight end since 2013, when Jodon Duncan had his All-American year and went off that year, and then dang near made the Denver Broncos final squad, was on that practice squad the year after that until the final cuts before the regular season began. That's how good Chase Hess was today in making some of those catches that he made. And love to see, the tight end is one of my favorite positions on a football team. I love to see those big guys that help out and block in the run game so much, but then when they're rewarded, this was Chase Hess's day, along with Casey Allison, but this was Chase Hess's day to be able to come in and say, I've been the number 2 tight end the last couple of weeks. Here I come. I get my chance to start again today, and I'm going to get a lot of targets. He makes 4 catches for 107 yards and 2 touchdowns. So I love to see the tight ends get involved in this game. First time that's happened. It's not been too long. Dixie State did have 2 100-yard receivers in the game against Colorado School of Mines in that big win this last November. Don't have to look too far back to see the last time that happened. man, what a game. And where else do you go? We mentioned the passing numbers. I thought the run game, anytime you can go 204 yards, you're going to be happy with that. Canelli Robles, 13 carries, 67 yards. Cody Wilstead, 5 carries, 50 yards and a touchdown. C.J. Luongo, 8 carries, 33 yards. Keaton Mott, 4 carries and 30 yards, both quarterbacks with a hurdle. I mean, if you can rush for 200 yards, around 200 yards a game with this offense, the way it's run, you're doing something right, and you're going to be in a position to win every single game you're in.
And that was one of the keys we talked about. Not one of the keys of the game, but one of the things we talked about in the pregame show was that this rush defense for Black Hills State, averaging about 240 yards per game on the ground to opposing players. The Trailblazers didn't get quite to that number today, but like you said, anytime you go over 200 yards of rushing, it's going to be a good day where the Trailblazers really exploited the Yellow Jackets defense was through the air. Averaging just 223 yards through the air was the Black Hills State defense. Obviously well past that today at 473 yards of passing through the air.
Let's play a little game. I like to play these games, during the broadcast, post-game, pre-game, whatever. This little quickie stat sheet does not tell you. It just lists the leading guys in each statistical category. How many Dixie State receivers made a catch today? At least just one catch.
Well, they have 4 on here that they list. I can name probably a few others. Xavier Smith is not on here. Blake Kilgore is not on here. Darman Otoa is not on here. I'm going to say probably a couple that I missed. I'm going to say 9 Trailblazers caught passes today.
11 Trailblazers caught passes. Let's name them all. Jalen Powell with 5, Darman Otoa with 5, Casey Allison with 4, Chase Hess with 4, Xavier Smith with 4, Andrew Canelli Robles with 2, Malcolm Ross Turner with 2, Blake Kilgore 1, Ricky Johnson 1, Devin Osborne 1, C.J. Luongo 1.
There you go.
11 different Trailblazers caught a pass today. That's how good this pass game was. Again, as a team, 30 for 38, 473 yards, and 5 touchdowns through the air. Now the time everyone's been waiting for. Let's dive in. SkyWest Airlines Player of the Week, Drayson. I'm going to give you first crack at this one.
You're going all the way Player of the Week, not just Player of the Game. You're going all the way.
Player of the Game. SkyWest Airlines
should be Player of the Week.
It will probably end up being our campus store Player of the Week on Trailblazer Weekly, depending on what happens with some soccer games and volleyball tonight. But SkyWest Airlines Player of the Game. That's good. Player of the Game. I'm giving you first crack at this. Where are you going?
I'm going Casey Allison. I think obviously you could give it to Cody Wilstead. That's going to be probably the obvious choice, but I'm going Casey Allison. Made 2 really incredible catches in the end zone. I think he was just doing a very good job of finding open zones and open holes in that defense. Obviously, the pass had to be there by Cody Wilstead. That's why you could lean towards saying Wilstead. But those catches weren't easy routine catches. They were put in a good spot, but Casey Allison still had to go up and make those plays. We saw one in the back left corner of the end zone on the first one, and then that scramble play from Cody Wilstead where he had to throw it across his body, kind of back towards the center of the field, almost underneath the goalpost. And Casey Allison was able to bring that one in. So he's my nominee for Player of the Game.
I like that one. And I guess call it cliche. I'm going with Cody Wilstead today. And then we'll look at some defensive numbers as well. But I'm going with Cody Wilstead today. 18 of 23. Just gets thrown out there. I mean, Keaton Mott's playing a great football game. And when you're a good quarterback, when you're a good player, you always expect that you're going to get in the game. But I doubt Cody Wilstead was expecting to get just thrown in on that drive. His first pass was on the money for a touchdown. He goes 18 of 23, 336 yards, and 4 touchdown passes. And you mentioned a couple of those catches that Casey Allison made. One of them, Wilstead's on the run to his left, throws back across his body to his right, and has enough arm to get it to the back of the end zone so Allison can go up and make that catch. So I'm going with Cody Wilstead for my SkyWest Airlines Player of the Week. Do we need to flip a coin? I don't have a coin. I have a cookie right here, I guess, that we could flip. Chocolate chip side up is heads. No, I'm just kidding. We won't do that. I'm going to eat that here in just a minute. But maybe we could split that. Maybe we could just say the passing game, the Dixie State passing game. I think Cody Wilstead, Casey Allison. I think it's your top quarterback and your top receiver. I think we can split it. Our SkyWest Airline Players of the Week. Those two able to hook up 4 times. For Allison makes the 4 catches, 126 yards, and the 2 touchdowns. And I mean, honorable mention. Let's not leave our tight ends out. Chase has 4 catches, 107 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And Blake Kilgore had the 1 touchdown catch as well. So congratulations to those guys in getting those catches. But our SkyWest Airlines Players of the Game, Cody Wilstead, Casey Allison tonight. Let's look defensively before we move on too far, because we had some great defensive performances as well. Connor McKay hits double digits in tackles today, a career high, 10 tackles for him. Had a tackle for loss. As we go down and look at sacks, McKay ends up with a sack. Trailblazers end up with 4 sacks. Look at this. They're all solo sacks. No assists. They're all clear-cut solo stops. So Trailblazers had 7 sacks last week, 4 sacks today. McKay has 10 tackles and a sack. Alex Lilliard with 9 tackles and a sack. Cajun Smith-Begrevich with 7 tackles. Darius Nash with 6. Great defensive performance as well. How about Honolulu Grill play of the game, Drayson?
Yeah, for me, it's got to be that pass from Cody Wilstead to Casey Allison in the back of the end zone. The one where, not the first one that went to the back left pylon, the one where Wilstead kind of rolled out to his left, going to his unnatural side, and had to kind of turn his body, get his shoulder square to the target, throw back across his body from the left side of the field all the way back about to the right hash, obviously in the end zone, but to that kind of right hash extended area of the field, and really just tremendous arm strength to get it there, rolling out to his left and having to throw across his body. For me, that's the play of the game.
Are you forgetting a certain play earlier in the game? Are you forgetting Chase Hess's 32-yard catch and run from Keaton Mott? And how many different guys he had to break tackles, and it's a big guy. We're talking about a tight end. Chase Hess is, what is he, 6'4", 225, and he's breaking tackles. He looks like a running back out there, and he's diving for the pylon.
That's a great play.
Diving for the pylon.
That's a great play, but this one had kind of 2 layers, where that one was just an easy throw, and the tight end made the play. This one was a tough throw and a tough catch, so I've got tough plays on both ends instead of just on the one end.
All right, well, I'm going to let you be the one to tell Chase then that you took away his great play. I think in terms of the significance when the play happens to Chase Hess, that's the go-ahead touchdown, but just early in the second quarter, you go up 10-3. If I'm not mistaken, the pass to the one you're talking about was it just before? It was just before halftime.
It was
right?
just after halftime.
Just
it was
after
the
halftime.
First
So it was
possession
the first
of
possession.
the third quarter.
So you go up 38-13. Well, maybe there goes that argument then. I was going to say you go up, you have a touchdown right before halftime, and then you're able to get the ball in the second half too. But I don't know. Maybe I just go easy, and just like we did players of the game, we're going to split it. Our Honolulu Grill plays of the game: Chase Hess, pitch and catch from Keaton Mott, and then Casey Allison. I think we're probably going to see both of those plays next week on Trailblazer Weekly, our Honolulu Grill highlights of the week. Shameless plug, Trailblazer Weekly. If you're still out there listening, every Wednesday at 3 p.m. right here on Radio Dixie 91.3 FM, the Dixie State Athletics YouTube page, and on CEC TV. Drayson and I will break this game down in detail. We'll take a look around the Blazer beat as well. What went on? We're also going to play a little Know Your Foe on Wednesday, as well as a team from Canada comes in. It's not often you get to play a team from another country. So a team from Canada is coming in this week. So we're going to see how well you and I know Simon Fraser.
And Simon Fraser, unless I'm mistaken, the only NCAA team, only NCAA division school in any division from Canada. So very interesting little note there. That's why we got to see how well we know them.
So Trailblazers win it 52-22. Our players of the game brought to you by SkyWest Airlines were Cody Wilstead and Casey Allison. And then our Honolulu Grill plays of the game tonight are Chase Hess, pitch and catch from Keaton Mott, and then Casey Allison and Cody Wilstead just into the second half. Wilstead throw across his body on the move the opposite way. Allison goes up high, makes the catch, gets a foot down, and makes the touchdown catch. Trailblazers win it 52-22, improving to 4-1, matching the longest win streak in Dixie State football Division II history. They'll try to make it a record 5 straight next week when the clan of Simon Fraser come to town. A big shout out to our CEC TV crew for hanging out with us today. It's a busy day for them as they had people working over at the marathon this morning. Also, a big shout out to Easton Smith for board operating for us and producing our game back on the radio side. Yes, that name will sound familiar. That is the former Dixie State football player, Easton Smith. He's just as good in the radio station as he was out here on the football field. So, Easton, we appreciate you back in there producing for us and getting us on the air, keeping us on the air throughout the day. Trailblazers win it 52-22. For Drayson Ball, I'm Carrick Segmiller. Thank you for watching or listening or however you accessed our game today. We will catch you on Wednesday on Trailblazer Weekly at 3 o'clock, and then we'll be right back here in the broadcast booth next Saturday. 7 p.m. kick, the final night game at Trailblazer Stadium of the season. 6:30 pregame. We'll catch you next week right here on the Trailblazer Football Network. I'm Carrick Segmiller. Have a good day, everybody.